Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Ansem571. I will be your streaming host for the Shuriman Finals VOD recast. I am joined by Bonini and Yastariel. Due to complications of caster availability, we had to have somebody from one of the teams. So I apologize for that. Hopefully he's not too biased. If not, we have moderators here to help make sure that he stays in check. But without that, let's go ahead and let them introduce themselves a little bit and start up this series.
You can
All
go
right,
first.
all right. I guess I'll go first. All right, guys. So, like Ansem said, I am Benini. I am the one who is or was on one of these two teams here. I did play for ABCDEsports as the jungler. I'm definitely looking forward to watching these VODs. For this will actually be my third time watching the replays, and I'd definitely love to share it with you guys. Share the outcome of this really tremendous close series. And like Ansem said, I'm also joined by my co-host Yastario.
Hi, I'm the mid laner for the Shuriman team, the Dandelion Knights. While we did go to playoffs, we played against ABCDE and lost against you guys, so that's what got you guys into this series against Kamikaze Penguins. But beyond that, I wasn't in the game. I watched it live, so we both unfortunately know how the game turns out, which is again from a complication of streamer availability, caster availability. But beyond that, there's not much to say about me, I think.
Yeah, so we're not gonna leave you guys waiting any longer. We are actually ready to hop right into this game one. So we're gonna go ahead and kick this one off. ABCD Esports on the blue side taking on Kamikaze Penguins. Game one, Shuriman Finals. I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
Alrighty.
Alright. So, well, we're skipping pick ban for the sake of time and the fact that we can't really, simulate it properly. So, a few things to know about these picks and bans, as the teams are spreading out, is that, um, on blue side, they first banned out the Silas and the Vigar from Mansburg, and in return, Mansburg decided to first pick his Corki, which Delta picked his Malzahar into. This shows that at least that they have a lot of focus on the mid lane, and they had ideas for what they want in this mid lane with the double mid lane ban and the prepared counter pick.
Yeah, throughout this series, the both teams kind of had at least, or they had who on the other team they really wanted to try and ban out. So
Yep.
ABCD Esports really put a lot of bans towards Mansfrig in the mid lane. Mansfrig actually, I believe, was the Shuriman Division All-Star for mid
Yes,
lane.
he was.
Yes, he was. So he was. So that's definitely something that they wanted to watch out for. And although ABCD Esports did have 3 All-Stars on their team, their top laner, jungler, and their support, most of the bans coming out from Kamikaze Penguins did target the support role and Ansem. That's why you see him here playing a bit more of an unconventional support, playing that Maokai instead of something more like the Nautilus, the Thresh, or the Morgana, which were all banned out.
Yep, they actually banned out 3 catch champions because they're rather afraid of Ansem's catching potential. He's rather aggressive, and he really does like to look for these picks and tries to get these fights going in bot lane. So we'll see how well he manages to do that on Maokai into the Janna Caitlyn. Which I would also say is, in fact, them picking against this pick as well. They really want to have the range. They really want to have the kite and the peel safety away from this bot lane and trying to avoid getting Electro fed, as Electro has one of the highest kills per game. I think probably the highest kills per game out of all the Shuriman players. So they really want to avoid getting these kills early on.
Yeah, and if we look here, the junglers did have pretty similar and pretty conventional starts here. The both junglers starting on their bot side buffs, getting that leash from their bot lane. Both junglers now working on their top side buffs. We'll see if they do go for any sort of early aggression either in the top lane or the mid lane. But we do see a small CS advantage for the Amumu, who did take his entire bot. He did take Raptors into his red buff. Probably going to take Krugs after that, whereas the Volibear, instead, we actually do have a flash out in the bot lane already.
Immediately with the Maokai managed to find his W on her without between the traps, and while her E is not leveled up yet.
Yeah, and we do see the Amumu here going for that full topside clear, trying to get that early lead in CS there. Definitely can clear camps a lot faster than the Volibear can, but we do see the Volibear moving up to this top lane, looking for a potential gank on this Nasus, but Amumu is there to possibly respond. We're going to see how this goes here, as the Volibear is currently going in. We just saw action in the bot lane as well.
So a lot of damage coming on the Nasus. He has to flash, but he's gonna get pulled out again, and he might go down. No, he lives actually. He seems to live, whereas the Mumu flashing in onto the Volibear, but the Volibear passive, bringing him to safety.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
and then
bot
Maokai,
lane, the flash
yeah.
W onto the Caitlyn without flash. That E went the wrong direction. That's gonna give them the kill. The Janna picking up the kill on reverse, but between the supports sitting the kills, it doesn't matter as much, but the fact that Electro survived and Asu died is very, very bad for the red side bot lane.
Yeah, if we look there, definitely very, I mean, good trades for ABCDEsports there in the early game. In the top side, they did get
They're looking for this, but Volley has no passive and Malzahar has no mana, so this isn't really a fight that the blue side can take. So it looks like now, with Mansberg flashing in over the wall to get onto them, they will be able to secure that kill on the Volley.
Yeah, the jungler there for ABCDE. I wonder who that guy is, but yeah, he overstayed there definitely. I'm trying to fight for that. Yeah, trying to fight for that scuttle crab on the Amumu. Definitely a bad decision by him.
Yeah, a little bit ambitious of you guys.
Yeah, but currently
ABCDE.
Yeah, but those early game trades, like I was saying before that fight happened there, did go in ABCDE's favor there.
Yeah.
You see two flashes for one in favor of ABCDE in the top lane, and then you already said, the AD carry dying for Kamikaze Penguins is able to kind of get some farm back here. But if you look at the backs, Caitlyn only grabs a dagger and a couple more pots on her back, whereas the Xayah grabbed a Caulfield. So she's definitely going to be a lot stronger now moving into this next phase of laning phase.
Yeah. Well, it looks like Kamikaze is looking for a quick dragon play, or at least trying to secure the vision on the dragon. It looks like they're actually starting it up and trying to do this as early as they can. Really.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, it's an Inferno Drake. Definitely, probably actually not probably. It's the most powerful Drake early in the game and actually throughout the game. Great job there from Kamikaze Penguins to send 4 members, their mid laner, their jungler, and their bot lane to secure that one. While actually there was no vision on it at all from ABCDEsports. Definitely a good early game pick there. And if you look at the gold lead across the board, Kamikaze only has a slight lead, but they do have that dragon.
They do have the lead on their top laner though, and both Vladimir and Nasus are the late game carries of this game. Both teams in the late game are going to be reliant on these top laners, so any advantage now will help propel them into the state where they can do that carrying.
Yeah, and if we do look in the bot lane here, the bot lane for ABCDE does, each individual person, the Xayah over the Caitlyn and the Maokai over the Janna do have a level advantage. The Janna was actually just able to get level 4, but there is definitely a CS lead, a gold lead, and an experience lead down in the bot lane for ABCDE. We'll see if they can try to turn this into something as we move into these next couple minutes here. Flash and heal both down for the Caitlyn, flash down on the Janna as well, so not much mobility down there. We'll see if Maokai can try to make a play.
Malzahar has 6 on the Corki, but it looks like Corki's not going to let anything happen there.
Yeah, it looks like everyone's just kind of back off here. The Vladimir was able to pick up his Kindle Gem and an Amplifying Tome. The Nasus was able to back and get a Sapphire Crystal and a Rejuve bead. We do see if he's going to back again, though. He does have Teleport to get back to lane if he decides to. Amumu getting very low on these Krugs, but he should just be able to clear them and just to go back to base and get some healing as well, which is what he's going to do.
But right now, with Volibear looking top or mid, with the Mumu having to back, this could get dangerous for the solo lanes for Kamikaze Penguins.
Yeah, right now we're just waiting to see if this bot lane for ABCDE, they do have the XP advantage. We'll see how close that Xayah is to level 6. Once Xayah hits level 6, maybe we'll see if they do decide to go in. Maokai now just hitting level 5 as well. We'll definitely see if in these next couple minutes, once the Xayah does hit level 6, if they do decide to go in here and force something with the level advantage. As Xayah does hit 6, but they realize that and kind of are playing a lot safer in the bot lane.
Looks like the Volibear has decided to back off, and the Nasus is completely backed. He's going to come back in with the Sheen completed and 3 Rejuvenation beads, so he's going to be able to sustain in this lane for quite a bit now.
Yeah,
perhaps
and then
not as long as against the Vladimir, though.
Yeah, and then early in this game, we see the Amumu with quite a substantial lead on the Volibear. Now, the Volibear does need to back still. Hasn't had his he had his first back after dying, but hasn't backed since then. Is sitting on about 1,000 gold now, but the Amumu already has his Cinderhawk finished. So it does have about a 4 camp lead, 3 to 4 camp lead on the Volibear, plus has that assist gold as well. So we're gonna see the Amumu going into this mid game, has his ultimate now, see if he can make a play, turn a team fight around for Kamikaze Penguins.
So right now with the gold back lead back to being slightly in favor of ABCDE, despite the dragon, this is mainly due to the CS difference in top lane. There's 4k more gold on the Vladimir over the Nasus in those 20 CS.
400.
And 400.
Yeah.
400. Sorry, I misspoke.
No,
400.
yeah,
And the
good.
Nasus is at 102 stacks right now at 8 minutes in. He is, I think that's a little bit behind, but not entirely sure. But right now there's an coming in. But Nasus is just taking the stacks as a Mumu tries to pressure this Vladimir off. The flash coming down, the ult coming down, it looks like might be a kill. Yes, the 6 stacks goes to Nasus.
Yeah.
12
the 12 stacks there to the Nasus, and we do see Corki was moving out to possibly use that package to come in, decided against it, and they didn't actually need it. The Amumu didn't have to burn flash there to get onto the Vladimir, kind of just waited the pool out, was able to get on top of him. The Vladimir tried to flash away, but the ultimate from Amumu kept him right where he was. Flashed by the Nasus with the Q, does take him out there. Nasus is going to farm up here a bit before he can probably try to back, spend some of that gold he has, and then TB back to lane if he needs to.
That gank top applies a lot of pressure for the Nasus as well. He's now going to be able to stack quite a bit more than he was earlier, and this again will help propel the top lane late game carries that both teams would want.
Yeah, we do see now the Malzahar is sitting on 2k gold. He definitely is going to want to back here. He does have the mana to stay, and it is obviously good to farm here, but he is pushing that cannon wave at least trying to push it as fast as he can, it looks like. So he's going to get a lot of gold here, but he may miss some minions now if he does decide to back. Does have the teleport coming up now, so he's probably just going to back, spend some of that gold and get back to lane.
Mansford's right now sitting on Source Boots and Sheen, so right now if he were to roam anywhere, he would be a lot stronger than the Malzahar in any skirmish that happens. It looks like he's going to stay and push. Both of them are going to stay and push some more.
Yeah, the mid lane definitely a farming battle right now. The Malzahar does have that slight advantage on the Corki. Not much action though other than that. The Corki was able to get that early kill on the Volibear in the blue side jungle, but other than that, not much action for either of them. We do see the Amumu roaming down towards the bot lane. Was spotted out by the Scuttle Crab in the bot side. Now spotted out by a Vision Ward as well. We'll see what happens down here. But he actually is going to come in. Does not have ulti, but the Maokai here...
Teleport coming in from the Malzahar.
Yeah, TP from the Malzahar here, and the Maokai getting
flash
really
ult on the Maokai will kill him. On the Mumu. The Malzahar flash ult will kill the Mumu. But the Corki comes in as well and picks up a return kill on the Caitlyn. Caitlyn getting the kill on the Maokai, and now it looks like both teams want to keep fighting this. Janna doesn't have the health to stay in the fight at all. But it looks like Mansford is going really aggressive, but the flash flip from the Volibear is going to keep him from being able to kill, and the old lightning from the Volibear picks up the Janna as she tries to get away.
Yeah, the good old chain lightning there from the Volibear does able to pick up that Janna for the double kill in the bot lane there. And sorry for talking over there. I'm so used to being play-by-play. I kind of stole your thunder there for that one. But we do see the blue team here picking up that dragon now, which is pretty free, given that they did pick up the 2 kills there in the bot lane. Mountain Drake does go down, and we see a slight gold lead now for ABCDE following that team fight in the bot lane.
Yeah, in that play right there, I think Mansford, especially on the Corki, overstayed his welcome quite a bit, and trying to go aggressive onto the Xayah when their jungler was about to approach was quite greedy and definitely cost them a lot there.
Yeah, the Amumu being so aggressive there, almost jumping under tower without ultimate is a little a little risky there. A lot of poke onto the Malzahar there is going to have to back, actually. But yeah, definitely very aggressive by the Amumu, trying to go in and make a play. You did have the numbers advantage there, but the TP from the Malzahar evened it up, and then when the Volibear got there, he was just able to clean up the fight.
Yeah, and especially as Janna did not have the health to stay, and her trying to stay actually gave them even an extra kill beyond what they would normally get.
Yeah, as we see, actually, the Amumu has rotated into the blue side jungle. Is actually stealing the blue buff from the Volibear. Volibear on his Raptors, so there's actually going to be no vision of this, no way to respond for ABCDE. The Amumu doing a very good job, although he is down. He is down a little bit in pressure on the map. He is actually up in gold on the Volibear. So, you know, his teams, the lanes, the bot lane isn't doing too great compared to the bot lane of ABCD, at least in terms of gold. But if you look at the Amumu's gold himself, doing a great job staying relevant in the game, has that CS lead, and has, you know, definitely has the ability to stay even, although some of his lanes are struggling.
The gold lead right now is very close still, so still anyone's game. Even with and the one Drake to one Drake, both Drakes are very important for the teams. I don't think you could really call either one directly better. The Amumu managed to sneak in the Rift Herald though, but is going to get caught by the Malzahar and Volibear, and Nasus is not going to be able to come down and help whatsoever.
Yeah, definitely good objective control there by the Amumu. Able to get that early Infernal Drake right under the nose of ABCDE. Also able to grab that Rift Herald. Does pay for it with his life, but 300 gold for the Rift Herald. You can definitely use that Rift Herald to get more than 300 gold. That's only 2 plates. Oh, well, plates are down now.
Plates
they
are gone now.
Yeah, plates just went down 20 seconds ago. But if you can use that plate to bust open the first tower of the game, that's a lot more gold. Yeah, that's a lot more gold than just the 300 there that you lost by giving the kill over.
So the trade could be worth it, but on the flip side, if he's not able to make this Rift Herald work, then he would have given his life for minimal gains later on. Ooh, the Janna steps out just a little too far and gets immediately deleted before the Corki package can come in. But the Corki package does come in and is able to secure the Maokai kill. And barely, just barely, they managed to kill the Xayah without anyone going down. Corki does lose mid lane turret for that play though, and that means the first turret bonus is gone, and that means the Herald for getting the first turret bonus is no longer a possibility.
Yeah, we do see a fight down there in the bot lane. The Corki using the package to come down there, pick up 2 kills to 1. The Xayah with a bit of a split focus there in that fight. Definitely chunked the Corki down, forced him out of the fight at the beginning there. And then he was able to come back, kind of tried to focus the Xayah. You know, kind of just one of those, kind of unlucky for the Xayah there. But like you said, the Corki does pick up a couple kills there in the bot lane for his team, but loses that mid tower. And with that mid tower, loses a lot of pressure on the map.
Yeah.
Unlucky for the Nasus there, missing the Q, missing the 12, the plus 12 he could have got from that caddy, but definitely. I mean, if you do look at the Nasus though, at this point in the game, he is sitting on what is that? Almost 300 stacks at about 16 minutes. As a Nasus player, you're looking to average about 100 stacks every 5 minutes, so he should be trying to be at around 300 at this point. Which he is.
Steps up too far and gets Malzahar ulted.
And the kill steal there by the Thundering Roar from the Volibear. But yeah, Caitlyn stepping up too far, not realizing that there's a Malzahar walking up to you with his R button ready.
Now it looks like in top lane, Corki and Nasus are trying to trade the favor, and they get him. They get the Vladimir through his W with another flash Q. But meanwhile, in the bot lane, a turret dive coming down on the Amumu, and both junglers will lose their lives in the bot lane.
Yeah, a bit unlucky there for ABCDE. Trying to juggle the tower aggro there. Unfortunately, the Volibear did get tower aggro before the Maokai did. If the Maokai took tower aggro first, he could have used his I believe that's his, I don't know, his W or Z, whichever one makes him untargetable. Could have traded that tower aggro, and they both twisted advance. Yes, could have kept them alive down there, but they were able to pick up the kill and the tower, and with both junglers dead and the pressure in the mid lane. That they have with the Xayah actually picking up the second mid lane tower throughout that exchange as well. Not much that the red team can do to respond to this one. They don't have any pressure around the mid to bot lane side of the map, and that's another dragon, a cloud dragon, going over to the side of ABCDE.
Yep. Kamikaze Penguins managed to trade turrets with that playing top lane as the Mumu was getting turret of, but it did end up losing them to Dragon as their 2 players were top. Their 2 solo laners were pushing down the top lane.
The Dragon and that mid lane tower, the tier 2 mid tower, going down at 16.5 minutes. Very fast tier 2 tower in the mid lane that opens up so much of the map for ABCDE. That bot side jungle, and actually the Mumu putting down the Rift Herald now.
In a very awkward location, immediately has a fight with the teleport coming in. But it looks like this Herald's not going to get much through. It's had his eye hit a couple times already and is being stuck here by the Void Links from Malzahar.
Yeah,
so
yeah, you were talking about the Herald and how, you know, it's worth it. Oh, we did the flash ultimate onto the
flash
Corki.
ult. And Corki goes down immediately, and Janna coming in trying to help him also goes down to the Vladimir, as well as the Caitlyn. The Vladimir is really pulled off that play and took down 2 players, almost solo there. And now they're going to push down this inhibitor turret, and there's not a whole lot much Kamikaze can do. They don't have a Mumu ult for a few seconds, and Nasus is getting caught. He almost kills the Vladimir, but Vladimir is very hard to kill like that. He does have pull, and the heal committed from the Zaya, and Amumu now has ult, but there's no way he's going to be able to stop them from taking the inhibitor.
Yeah, that's a 19-minute inhibitor for ABCDE. Plus, they were able to get, I believe that was 4 kills with that as well. Maybe even all 5. I'm not exactly sure how many that was, but definitely a big turnaround in favor of ABCDE. They were slightly ahead, but now you have a 4K gold lead. You have the entire mid lane gone. Definitely allows you to apply a lot more pressure on the map, and with this Baron coming up in 40 seconds, that gives you a lot of area to get vision control, and then eventually try to maybe catch someone out and then work on picking up an early Baron as well.
With ABCDE now resetting, they KP does have a small window where they have Corki package and can look to trade for some of these mid lane turrets. They will probably get this one at the very least, but all in all, a very favorable push from ABCDE, netting them the 4 kills that they wanted.
And we do see the Vladimir here in the top lane. Oh, we have another ultimate onto the Corki.
And then a very defensive package usage, which is not very happy. He now does not have package for this upcoming fight. If he had saved it or used it aggressively, they might have been able to make use of it, but it would have been extremely risky, and on the back foot here, it could have cost them the game very fast.
Yeah, and here looking across the map, I do want to mention something about the mid laner really fast. We do see, like I said, Mansfrig is the all-star Shuriman mid laner, but we do see a gold advantage here onto the Malzahar. Delta Terra, not necessarily known for being the most aggressive, you know, get all the kills, you know, really press these leads, but doing a very great job in this game here, being right where he needs to be, using that ultimate and able to catch people out. And another thing I want to mention here, as the blue team does start off the Baron, looking at the vision scores in the top lane, we are 20 minutes in, 5 vision score for the Vladimirs, 8 vision score for the Nasus. Definitely both could probably be doing a bit more vision up there, but at the same time, you know, kind of
Malachi gets caught trying to stop KP from entering the fight, and as does the Vladimir gets very low trying to stop these from getting into the fight, but manages to get out, and the Caitlyn gets sniped by the Malzahar Q in the backside as she was taken down low by the Vladimir as he intercepted them.
Yeah, a bit of a split fight there for ABCDE. They were able to pick up the Baron and trade 1-for-1 in kills, which is always good. However,
losing the Baron on the support is not the biggest deal in the world, but while you're ahead, you would rather just have everyone have Baron and have more options that way than trading for this Caitlyn in this moment.
Yeah. With the split there by ABCDE, kind of having 3 members on Baron. Well, actually, it was really only 2 members on Baron at one point, which is just the Zaya and the Volibear taking it, whereas the Maokai kind of playing a bit of a zoning presence there. Yeah, and then you have the Malzahar picking up a kill, the Vladimir kind of zoning as well. I would have liked to see Kamikaze Penguins there possibly recognize that and try to maybe, instead of splitting,
Marie steps up just a little too far into where they don't have vision and gets immediately caught out and deleted.
Yeah, once a minute Janna was there, the next minute Janna was gone. So, and that's going to transition into a very free dragon for the blue team here. Not much the red team can do. They're down about 5, almost 6k in gold here.
It looks like the
Down a
posturing
member as
though,
well.
and posturing here could be very dangerous as the Maokai uses Righteous Glory and gets onto the Nasus, engaging onto Nasus, but meanwhile in the back lane, on the flank, the Vladimir and the Volibear find the Caitlyn, force her flash. The Mumu going in, trying to help the Nasus, but that's going to get himself killed. Nasus gets out with his own flash.
Yeah, the Amumu there hitting a 3-man ult, but no one to follow up there. The Caitlyn having to use her net defensively. The Janna not even in the fight there. Corki having to use his W, I believe, or E, whatever one it is, defensively as well.
And
You know,
looks like ABCD wants to try to push to try to make in this, but ooh, the Corki manages to find the Vladimir, kill him, and now ABCD is going to back off and look for a safer game. They're going
yeah,
to
the Vladimir there walking underneath the tower, taking the tower aggro for a bit too long. Didn't have the pool to get out of that one, and we do see ABCD, like you said, moving for a safer play, moving for this top lane tower, picking up some jungle camps as well, kind of starving the Amumu out of some CS there. And we do see they do have the Baron for a little bit longer. Should be able to pick up this top tower and possibly rotate it into either a reset, or if they really want to be aggressive, looking for this tier 2 top tower as well, because they do see the Corki bot lane.
Speaking of the Vision, though, well, spoke about it a while ago, but right now, obviously, in the lead, the Vision game is definitely going to go to blue side. But even historically, throughout this game, only now has the Janna managed to out Vision score the Corki in the mid lane, and that is going to be a lot of Vision game that they're not going to be part of.
Yeah, Shuriman division, for anyone who doesn't know that is watching, the Shuriman division is an average of about, usually like a gold to plat elo, kind of somewhere around there. Maybe it averages out about maybe gold 1, gold 2, I would say. Gold 1, yeah, so I was just told by my producer that it is gold 1. So you look at this elo, for anyone that's either in this elo, maybe isn't quite there yet, or even past it, vision control is something that's really taken for granted at this level of the game. You know, you... Go ahead, sorry.
The KP bot lane is actually struggling in this game, at least, to produce any vision scores worth noting. The Caitlyn has 2 control wards in their inventory, but I believe that might be their first 2 control wards, and I don't believe they've really placed any. They have 6 vision score compared to Zaya's 20 vision score now.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we see the Zaya just hit 20. Everyone on ABCDE is above 20, except the Vladimir again. But then you look at the side of KP, really lacking that vision control. You know, Nasus just hit 10. The Amumu, the jungler, who you would think would probably usually at least have the second highest vision score on the team, only at 16. And then we look at somebody like the Maokai, who has a vision score right now of 58. That's averaging almost 2 vision score a minute, over that actually. So, you know, a lot of vision control for ABCD. It is a lot easier to grab vision control when you are ahead. However, there definitely needs to be an active effort to kind of clear these wards out. As the Janna pops her Oracle lens in the mid lane, maybe clearing a specific ward out there, but definitely not where you would want to use it. Most of these wards are going to be in these jungles, in the bushes, in the jungle, trying to catch some people out.
Right now, though, KP has all 5 players in the bot side jungle, and ABCD only has 4 players, and with Corki package, KP could be looking for a play here. However, they actually do not have the vision in order to make any plays happen, and that's a very big deal. As we've been discussing, this vision score, this vision game of theirs has been lacking this whole game, and hopefully they can make up for this in the future games of the series, as it's going to stop them from making any plays that it will otherwise be able to.
Yeah, that's actually a very smart play there by ABCDE. Knowing that the Corki package only lasts 1 minute. Oh, and the Nasus actually jumping out to the Mauser. Mauser has actually caught out here. Doesn't have anything.
But that actually keeps himself standing still for such a long time that the rest of Kamikaze pickets come and pick up the kill.
And Ansem needs to be careful here. He's walking to a bush, does not have vision. The Amumu going to stun him up. The whole rest of the team is there to follow up. And the Amumu does lock him down, and down Ansem is going to go as well. Again, so despite being down, I apologize.
Despite being down for 5 to 6k gold, KP has managed to find 2 very important kills on the mid laner and the support, and these 2 are also their main sources of heavy CC. Like, you have the AoE root from Zaya, and you have.
Ooh, Vladimir, you're overstaying, buddy.
Vladimir getting a little too far. Has to flash, but Mumu flashes forward as well, but then managed to get flipped out by the Volibear and is unable to ult in time. But on the back end of that, the poke from the Caitlyn and the Corki is enough to actually completely kill the Xayah.
Yeah, what looked like the Vladimir going to get caught out actually leads to the Vladimir staying alive, the Xayah being the one that goes down there. All in all,
And the Mumu going down.
Yeah, the Mumu going down as well. All in all, that's actually a very good exchange there from Kamikaze Penguins. Being down in the game, oh, Janda's going to be able to actually run away from that one. I almost got caught out there by the Volibear. But yeah, I mean, looking there, that shouldn't have been a fight that Kamikaze Penguins had a chance with, but we're able to catch 2 out, and we're able to actually grab a tower in the mid lane for it. But we do see the blue team starting up this Baron.
And with the Nasus and Caitlyn resetting and the Janna resetting, there's absolutely no way that they can get here in time. Oh, but
the Corki rocket, maybe?
No.
No, the Maokai tanks that to the back.
And the Maokai ult stopped him from getting close enough to even hit the Baron with his ult.
Yeah, one thing I would like to point out for ABCDE here that they are doing quite well is timing these Corki packages and not fighting when the package is up. The package only has a minute timer. Once you pick it up, you have a minute to use it or it will expire. They're kind of timing it so when the Corki has the package, they aren't looking to engage, they aren't looking to fight. Even if they have what they believe is a secure pick, they are even trying to play a little bit cautious there because that Corki package has a lot of damage, has that 99% slow on it. It's definitely, you don't want to be fighting on top of that, I'll definitely tell you. 80% slow, I'm sorry. I believe. My producer said 80, so if he's wrong, then he's wrong, but we're gonna stick with 80 for now. Oh, he's updating it to be, it is now 90. So we're gonna split the difference, meet up in the middle with 90.
It is definitely not something you want to ever stand anywhere close to. It hurts as much as Rumble ult and slows you by 90%, and really standing anywhere on top of it is going to be a very painful experience. Right now, ABCD is trying to push up for this inhibitor, it looks like. Corki does no longer has package, Mumu does have ult and seems to be looking for it.
Yeah, but really, we do see the blue team using these Baron empowered siege minions here to work on this inhib here. This looks like a time where the Maokai could throw his ultimate down, just try to kind of zone them out to grab this inhib. And it looks like he is going to be doing that in a bit here, possibly. Oh, maybe not. We're gonna wait for the next wave. But could grab this inhibitor here. Are able to push the super minions down the mid lane and then use that Baron to possibly go to the top lane. You have a wave pushing in your favor as well. Yeah.
That was a hard. Malzahar pops the flash in preparation to grab this inhibitor. The Corki going down very low. The Mumu is stepping up, but doesn't have anywhere to step up to, and is trying to back off now. And Corki has to back and reset, and it looks like they managed to take this inhibitor rather safely, rather cleanly. Now they're going to rotate to the top lane and look to get this free turret, and then we'll see if they attempt to siege the inhibitor turret or back off.
Corki has the package here. Again, if ABCDE are monitoring, should have heard that he has the package. Try not to fight here for a minute. But the Malzahar actually could get caught out here. Uses the ultimate, but does get stopped. But the package comes down onto the team. This is disastrous for ABCDE.
The Xayah ult to get out of the Corki range keeps her alive, but meanwhile Maokai trying to go in and stopping the rest of KP from jumping in on them. Now it's down to a 3v3, 3v2 with the Volibear not being able to get away from the Wither. And now the two survivors of ABCD flee for their lives.
Yeah, well, we see a fight going over in favor of KP there. The package being up, ABCDEsports not being able to notice that and to started to fight underneath of that, actually.
Not respecting it whatsoever.
Yeah, not respecting the package there. You do have super minions pushing in the mid lane, but the wave's going to come out at just the perfect time that the super minions aren't going to be able to do much damage there. And KP
Mumu is there to catch it.
Yeah, and KP can actually push down this tower. I don't know if they're actually going to play it safe back. They do have a lot of gold now, do need to reset. You have over 1,000 gold on the Nasus, over 2,000 gold on the Caitlyn. Needs to back and grab their items and look to try to at least come back into this game.
Portable not able to catch the Caitlyn.
Yeah.
So it looks like despite being still 5,000, 6,000 gold behind in that previous fight, oh, it looks like there was a pause that was skipped over. But despite being 5,000 to 6,000 gold behind, they still have the ability to find these engages, find these fights, and win these fights, and that's very good. That's both very good on KP, but also a big mistake on ABCDE's part, as they have the mid initiative, they have the gold lead. They should be able to clean this game out, and if they respected that package well enough, they wouldn't have been able to. That fight would not have been able to been found.
Again, something I want to point out here, now that we're kind of waiting for this next phase of the game, which looks like it's going to be a fight around this Infernal Drake. Vision scores. KP had just won a fight. She could have grabbed some vision across the map, at least in their own jungle, and the Maokai actually on the wrong side of the team here.
He parts the stopwatch, but still goes down. But the Volibear is now coming in, and with the ult, the Caitlyn is actually on the front line and is going to almost go down, but that auto attack was cancelled by the Malzahar, and she gets out safely.
Again, just good pick there by KP. I was just talking about them not having the vision, but you don't need the vision when the support runs into your entire team without his team.
Unfortunately, though, they did have to reset off of that pick after that pick, and that does give them the pick from Electro onto the Corki. Zaya manages to find the Corki when he was low health and trying to check the dragon. He was quite a bit too far out. If they were on the dragon like they were, there was nothing he could have done, and that vision was going to give nothing. So he put himself at risk and was punished by the Zaya appropriately.
Yeah, KP there. You get the pick on the support. You have the numbers advantage. You know that the Inferno Drake's coming up. At least use that advantage to push up and get some vision on that dragon.
They really did not have the health though, because although they did catch and kill the Maokai, the Volibear's play actually brought the Caitlyn and the Mumu down to very extremely low. They were both like 10% health. So they had no choice but to reset, and in that case it was Corki overstepping despite the reset. He could have just given it up, I believe.
Yeah, and another thing, with those super minions pushing down the mid lane, they had to send at least 2 there to stop them from running it into their base. So I guess it is a bit more of a cautious play there for KP. You know, you don't want those super minions getting free hits on your Nexus towers. But we do have the Baron coming up here. We do see the Malzahar switching with his Unsealed Spellbook, switching his flash to Smite. So it looks like they're definitely going to be trying to focus the objective control here, get that Baron, and use it to end the game.
There's no Corki package right now, but it is going to come back soon, and we'll see if KP is able to stall it out and get the Corki with package back here in time, or if ABCD is going to be able to force the fight before Corki can get package. He is now recalling in order to pick up the package.
Yeah, package just came up, so he's definitely gonna try to grab that for this fight here. If ABCDE realize it, they could possibly try to sneak this Baron here, and it looks like they're going to start it. Yeah, they. I don't know if they had vision of the Corki.
But there is a pink ward sitting right inside that pit that they're not clearing. They just don't need to clear it. They're gonna take it right in plain sight.
Yeah, double smite there. The Volibear actually not even smiting it. The Malzahar was able to get it with his smite. So yeah, just they were able to take that. I don't know if they had vision of the Corki backing or if they just got lucky, but they were able to pick up the Baron for pretty much free.
He cues in onto the Zaya, but he has no team around him, and he just has to walk away. Zaya does pop her ult, though, and that could be important if a catch happens. She does have Guardian Angel, though, so trying to catch her and kill her is going to be very difficult.
Yeah, I feel like ABCD could have possibly just jumped onto the Amumu there without having to waste the Zaya ultimate, just kind of jumping on him. He had his flash, but was able to just walk out, not really punishing him for the Q there. But we do see ABCDE moving towards the bot side of the map, it looks like.
And Mumu is low health. He's not going to be able to engage a fight here, so if ABCD can look for an engage or just back off and wait for him to back before engaging, we'll see what they do.
Yeah, Mumu here is backing. Looks like he is gonna be able to back, yeah, with the speedy recall. So he the speedy.
Well, it looks like the Volibear is attempting to find engage. Oh, the flash Q onto the Corki when package is down, but then the Volibear goes down instead, and now Vladimir is on the backline while Nasus is also on the backline. They're both trying to kill each other. The Vladimir goes down. It looks like most of ABCD actually goes down in that. Nasus on the front line into the ABCD backline manages to survive through the lifesteal, whereas Vladimir diving onto the Corki and Caitlyn gets deleted before he could lifesteal back, and that is what allows KP to win that fight in the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's a decent engage for ABCDEsports getting that Corki and flipping him into the team, but he does have his
Valkyrie still.
Yeah, he does have that still. It was able to just walk right out of that one. So actually, the Volibear, you do want to get that engage onto a squishy target like the Corki, who is doing good damage now with the Triforce, with the Infinity Edge, but you need to do it at a time or at a place where you can confirm that kill, because without that kill, you really can't do much. As we see Kamikaze Penguins, using this to run into the base. Inhibitor. Well, that Nasus is actually getting chunked down.
Ooh, this Nasus gets caught. They're way too far out. The rest of the team is already backed off, and they still committed to that inhibitor, and now we can see a
Malzahar
teleport
TPing
from Malzahar
in.
coming up with home guards as well. He's gonna be able to run up and perhaps flash ult or perhaps ult someone. Yep, he catches the Caitlyn with his ult. The Caitlyn manages to flash out, but then the Janna is walking up trying to help her. Gets caught instead by the Volibear and the Maokai, and now
Glory actually is up now
gonna
for
run
the
into tower.
Volibear as well.
The redemption's down. Righteous Glory. Ooh, the Moo manages to try almost save her, but no. The W from the Maokai and the Q from the Malzahar will find the Caitlyn. The Corki goes down. The Moo is still alive, kills the Volibear, but oh, his Q actually lands, and he goes down for it. And it looks like off of that bad play, the KP has pushed up too far and started getting picked off on the retreat, and that enables ABCDE to cleanly ace them by picking off stragglers and end the game.
Yeah, what a crazy ending to that one. You see, it looked like ABCD Esports had the advantage there, pushing into the base with Baron. 4 of them getting caught there. The Xayah being the only one that survives. KP trying to push that into an advantage there, where you're pushing up, you're grabbing towers, grabbing the inhib. But then the Nasus gets caught for it. A good TP in there by Delta Terra on the Malzahar with the home guards to catch the Caitlyn out. Then the Volibear's Righteous Glory coming up right as they were trying to disengage, able to throw them right back into the fight. Great job there by ABCDE to recognize that they overstayed and to punish them for it and take game 1.
Yep. And
Yeah,
just gonna
so
pull off.
yeah, that was game 1 there. Crazy game. ABCD Esports, the number 1 seed, taking it over the number 3 seed Kamikaze Penguins. We do have game 2 coming right up, but before that, we're going to take a slight break. So don't go anywhere. Hold your seats, grab a snack, grab a drink if you need to, but we'll be right back for game 2 in just a little bit. Alright guys, welcome back to Game 2 of the Shuriman Finals between ABCDEsports and the Kamikaze Penguins. Kamikaze Penguins did end up giving up that Game 1 to ABCDE, but we'll see if they can turn it around here now on their favored blue side. I am joined again by Yastario.
Hello. That game one was quite fight happy. Like KP was able to find the fights despite being 5 to 6K gold. They were finding victories here and there, and the game unfortunately ended for them. That after one fight of theirs, they extended just a little too far, and ABCD was able to capitalize on them and push them to the end.
Yeah, the team comps in that first game, you had ABCD Esports. Their comp was very good at running people down. You have the Volibear, you have the Maokai, both with Righteous Glory. Were able to catch out Kamikaze Penguins as they were trying to disengage from their advantage, pushing their advantage after they won a fight, and didn't work out for them. But I'm definitely interested to see what happens here in Game 2, and we are about to get this one started. While we get this game started, in the first couple minutes, we're going to be talking about these picks and bans, talking about these team comps, and let's hop right into it.
Well, in this game, KP has blue side. They banned Morgana, Thresh, Malzahar this time. They're taking away the Malzahar from ABCDE. And last game, they banned Morgana, Thresh, Nautilus. In this game, they decided to first pick the Nautilus, still keeping Ansem off of these hook champions.
Yeah, we see Ansem instead here going for Leona, something that he... Oh, and the flash hook onto the Amumu.
Does not accomplish much, unfortunately. And that is a flash down on both Amumu and on Nautilus, but
on the Lissandra.
The Lissandra.
Yeah, the Lissandra actually flashing there too. That's actually a 2-for-1 flash with ABCDE.
And Lissandra started W as well. This commitment to this early is actually really painful for KP, as they no longer have flash on one of their solo laners, their support, and they committed to starting W on Lissandra. This is going to...
Yeah, Ansem able to drop a ward there on the red buff, so they will see the Volibear starting here. I mean, I don't think anyone. I don't think anyone's denying that he's starting on this red buff. Isn't really making any attempt to hide it. So yeah, they're going to know where the Volibear is going to start. The Mumu is going to start on his blue buff as well. Again, a very similar start to what we see last game. We'll see if the pathing is the same as well.
Meanwhile, back to the pick and bans. The mid lane, the same bans coming down from ABCD, Vigar, Sylas, Malphite, still keeping Bansferg off of the Vigar, off of the Sylas. And instead, he blind picks the Tristana, and ABCD answers with the Syndra. So we'll see how this mid lane matchup goes for them.
Yeah, I believe that if you look strictly at stats, the Syndra actually has a higher win rate against the Tristana. There, I think it's like 52% to 48. It's one of the only champions that does have a win rate. One of the only mages, rather, that has a higher win rate against the Tristana.
The main reason this happens is because when Tristana presses W on Syndra, Syndra presses E, and there's not only CCs, the Tristana allows Syndra to press other abilities. Oh, the bot lane engage on Ansem while I'm talking forces the flash off of the Caitlyn, then the flash forward by Electro forces the heal from Caitlyn, and so now all summoners are down for KP, and ABCDE still has Electro's flash.
Heal, yep. Yeah, the level 2 engage there from the Leona. The Leona Kaisa, very strong lane watching. Well, the Leona very strong level 2. Was able to grab that level 2 before the side of KP. Ansem using that Relic Shield to take down the melee minions in the second wave a lot faster than the KP could. Get that level 2, early engage onto the Caitlyn, who was still level 1, and force all those sums out. Great job at recognizing... Oh, and the Caddy actually is missed by the Lissandra there. Unlucky, but... Great job, and we do actually see a fight here.
The Mumu is just going to get found by the Volibear and probably taken down here rather safely. Oh, he actually backs off, but then no, the W flash from Tristana gets first blood.
Yeah,
and now it looks like they're looking top lane.
Yeah, the only person on KP that still has their flash is that Volibear in the jungle. So we do see a lot of early aggression by KP, flashing to pick up a kill, flashing away in the bot lane to not give up a kill. And we do see a little bit of a summoner advantage early for ABCDEsports, but they were able to pick up a kill. It wasn't all for nothing, and they do have an early gold lead.
The unfortunate part is, although he managed to get that get that first blood, the Tristana went with Volibear to try to look top, but there's no way they could turret dive the Garen, so they actually ended up wasting a lot of their time, and this allowed the Syndra to farm quite a bit more in the mid lane, get an EXP lead over the Tristana, and now that lane, despite the first blood and the double buffs, is not actually as easy for Tristana as it could have been. The Leona finds the Volibear in the jungle, but it's just not going to amount to much. Leona does not have enough damage for this, especially through Volibear passive, and her team's just not quite close enough.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking to catch the Volibear out there on the scuttle. The Volibear actually doesn't actually. Oh no, yeah, the Volibear actually picks the scuttle there, and that's gonna be able to clear out 2 wards there. I would have liked to see the Volibear go domination as his second and pick up that zombie ward. Again, it comes down to vision control. Helps out when the jungler does have that zombie ward. Instead went for the, I believe, the Triumph there. Triumph and probably either Tenacity or Alacrity. But we do see here across the board, we do have a 1k gold lead for KP. Gold, and most of that gold lead is actually on the Volibear and the Tristana. So we're gonna look to see if those 2 champs can on their first backs grab some items and be able to push their advantage. Tristana in her lane and Volibear across the map.
Tristana does have 1500 gold, so when she backs, she could either go for start. She's either looking to get 1600 and get a cutlass on her first back, or back and get a BF sword, depending on which build she would like to do. Oh, the Caitlyn getting caught by the Leona there. Yeah, the wrong direction, it looked like.
Yeah, the Caitlyn accidentally using the net in the wrong direction there.
That's gonna get her easily killed. Easily picked up by the Kaisa.
Yeah, Kaisa now sitting at about a 400 gold advantage in the bot lane on that Caitlyn. Is also gonna be able to grab this wave, push it under the tower. It is a cannon wave, so that maybe the Caitlyn can get there and not lose too much CS. But they're doing as good of a job as they can to push this under tower. And it looks like the wave may actually freeze right in front. No, it is gonna go underneath the tower.
So it looks like the Tristana has gone for the cutlass. In this lane, while she has the advantage in gold, the problem here is that if she W's onto Syndra, Syndra can press E, like QE, and that's going to knock Tristana out of her own auto attack range, and she's not going to be able to continue autoing the Syndra to get the E bombs, and that means that Syndra will usually have more damage onto it, especially with ult. The Tristana is not going to get the reset and is not going to be able to continue to auto the Syndra, which is why Syndra does have the advantage over Tristana.
Yeah, kind of surprising here in the mid lane. The Syndra, I see.
But if the Syndra doesn't have the mana or doesn't have the E, then she's not able to actually knock the Trist, and thus the Trist, the Ignite, and Cutlass both used for the barrier and flash from Syndra.
Yeah, good job there by Mansberg to kind of just hop up to the Syndra, realizing that she was low on mana there. But one thing I want to point out, the Tristana did get the early kill, did come back to lane with double buffs, and the Syndra was still able to maintain a CS advantage. Great job there by Delta Terror on the Syndra, and as I say, here comes the Volibear.
Without the flash, we'll see if she can get away with the flash from the Volibear. Doesn't look like it's going to be needed, he's just going to go down, but the Volibear takes the kill from the Tristana.
Yeah, I would like to see him give it over there. The Tristana, is going to be more of a carry than the Volibear. Yeah, fed Volibear in the early game. It does do a lot of damage.
Like they're going to look for more.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to run it down into this bot lane. No, actually, no. She's just going to get the Amumu off of his... Oh, and the smite there.
And the reset from the...
Yeah, unlucky there. I see what the Amumu was trying to do, but unlucky that it did reset. And the blue team going to be able to push this advantage that they have, knowing that the Amumu is low on health, knowing that the Syndra is coming back from base to grab an early Mountain Drake, and it's going to look like, looks like it's going to be for free.
Yep, KP is not going to contest this. Amumu does not have ult.
Yeah, ABCD is not going to contest it.
Sorry, ABCD is not going to contest this. And Amumu just got ult. Just got ult after killing that Gromp. So actually denying that Gromp also denied Amumu his ult for that dragon for long enough that they were able to take it.
Oh, we see the Garen going onto the Sandra here. She is very low. Flash.
The ult stops it, but he can just ult again. But it doesn't actually kill him this time. The ult managed to heal her just enough to get her out of Garen ult range.
Ooh, yeah, very close there in the top one. We do see the Trist roaming up here as well. I don't know how much she can do, but
I don't believe she can get this kill. We'll see. No, she doesn't even get the reset because his Q's too fast. She had committed ult, maybe she would have been able to get the reset, but it might not have been able to kill him. And with the Mumu out of vision, and he was topside, she would have showed up and would have been very dangerous. Instead, she's gonna take a plate topside, and Lissandra's gonna go mid and face off against the Syndra. We'll see if it's a permanent swap. It should not be a permanent swap. Maybe it's just temporary.
Yeah, and we do see that Tristana having to use her Buster Shot there in the top lane to keep that Garen off of her. I don't know how necessary that was, especially with a wave of minions there as well, but they were focused on the tower, so maybe that was good. Again, better to be safe than sorry. The cooldown isn't super long that it's going to be down for that long, but Nautilus going into
Nautilus hooking, but this was not a good hook. There's not much he could do here, and actually, this was going to be turned around by Electro and by the ABCD bot lane, and while the Caitlyn is barely able to get out with the flash and heal.
Oh, Volibear's coming in here.
Volibear's coming in, the Caitlyn ult. Meanwhile, top lane. There's a good fight. It doesn't look like they have... Okay. Looks like KP's able to manage to make that work. The Syndra is coming down, but she does not have a whole lot. She managed to pull them off. Gets flipped. Her ult is not able to kill Volibear through his passive, and looks like they're going to be able to just shoot her down with a Mumu flashing in. Ult kills the Volibear immediately, turns around, the Syndra gets the kill on the Caitlyn, and once again KP wins the fight, but overstays her welcome and gets picked off at the end.
Yeah, at the end, that was a 3 for 2 going in the favor of ABCDE. Again, KP were able to turn it around, get a 2 for 1. Overstayed their welcome there. I mean, if they could have picked up the Syndra, that would have been really great for them, 3 for 1. But overstaying, and actually both of them dying to that one. And, so yeah, again, it's just a case of an overstayed welcome. And Mumu, we'll see. He's gonna possibly try to save plates on this tower. We'll see how that goes.
He's gonna be able to get these played. He's probably able to doubly out if necessary. She W's, but she's still in a Mumu Q range. Gets hit by the Q, gets hit by the everything else, and it's just gonna be able to stand there and take all the damage and die. There's not much you could do after getting hit by that Mumu Q. She did have flash up.
Yeah, well, we have the stun by the Amumu, we have the stun by the Solar Flare, stun by the Syndra into the Zenith Blade root, then another stun by the Leona. The Tristana could not get out of there. The chain CC too much. Didn't even didn't have time to flash.
She could either have flashed out of the original Mumu Q, or actually saved her W to buffer it from the Mumu Q. Like, when she gets hit by the Mumu Q, then have her W going. That was the only 2 ways to do that. She W'd a little early, did not manage to flash from the Q in time, it looks like.
Yeah, we see here, I just look at early vision across the map here. We are 12 minutes in. Top laners, Lissandra doing a much better job here, vision, than the Garen, who has a vision score of 2. The jungle, very even, about 10 for both junglers here. Mid lane also very even. 80 carries, pretty even. Support's pretty even. Yeah, the top lane, really the only discrepancy in this game. We do see the ultimate onto the Lissandra, and we're now in the bot lane.
Bot lane looks like a fight's going on. Electro did snag the W, could ult in if she wanted, but if Kai'Sa wanted, but then chose not to. Meanwhile, top lane, this fight's going. The Volibear goes down despite his passive ticking through the quick burst from the Syndra Q and Garen ult. The Leona goes in finds the E onto the Caitlyn and throws all her CC down, and then they were able to secure these 2 kills, it will look like.
Double kill for the Leona.
Meanwhile, mid lane, Amumu is trying to stop the Tristana from pushing, but is not able to. She's going to be able to take another plate off of this, but in top lane, the ult tries to get him away further from the turret, but is not able to really push him much and has to give up on trying to take the turret completely.
Yeah, if the Tristana could have grabbed first tower in the mid lane, that could have been at least a consolation there for KP. Did go down early, died in the top lane of Volibear going down, 2 kills in the bot lane going over to ABCDE. The Tristana could have tried to grab that turret, but the Amumu, although giving up about 3/4 of his health bar to do it, was able to stop her from taking that tower, and was able to have that mid lane tower live to see another day.
Despite all of the advantage they got from the Volibear carry and the bot lane kill, the ABCD is still only about 300 gold ahead, and most of this difference is in the 600 gold advantage Tristana has over Syndra right now.
Yeah, we also have a 500 gold advantage. Yeah, a 500 gold advantage in the jungle as well. Actually, 700 gold now in the jungle. Again, Volibear, actually, I'm not even gonna say Volibear, always gonna game for KP, doing a very good job against this I guess Benini of ABCD Esports, and now we have a big Amumu off there.
Ooh, but suddenly everyone on ABCD is there, and the volume not go down. They thought they could take a 2v2, but then the Syndra flanked from behind, and the Kaisa ulted from her inhibitor turret.
Yeah, just very you know, again, KP trying to be proactive, trying to find a fight there. Had the Amumu and the Leona there the Amumu at low health, the Leona about 3/4 health, maybe even full health there, but trying to have a fight where they should win. The Volibear is ahead of the Amumu. The Nautilus and the Leona, the Leona is ahead, but you know the support damage really isn't going to do that much. They thought they could turn that fight around in their favor, but again, like you said, the Syndra flank from behind, the Kaisa using the behind enemy lines to get in there as well. You know, definitely a fight that goes over in favor of ABCDE, and
they have to manage to transition into a Mountain Dragon. Meanwhile, the Tristana does manage to take the first turret mid, which opens her up to some of these realms. She needs to be looking bot side to try to shut down this Kaisa before she gets even further ahead. But we'll see how successful it is. It might already be too late, actually. Kaisa's already has the Infinity Edges, doing massive amounts of damage, and the Amumu, the Syndra, and the Leona are definitely going to make it hard for her to burst the Kaisa down.
Yeah, KP sending 3 members down here, trying to pressure this bot tower. Oh, and here comes the stun onto the Tristana here. The Tristana...
It's gonna go down
to the tower.
Tower Ignite. And now it looks like Caitlyn has to flash
Flash
away,
forward by the
perhaps
Leona.
still goes down. Nope, it looks like she manages to get away, but this Nautilus is not long for this world. The flash forward from the...
Oh, are we gonna see a Void Seeker here? And... Oh! Finds a chosen.
Oh, and the
Lysandra with the TP. Oh, they are caught.
Lysandra's not able to E properly. It does take her flash. It probably should not have taken her flash. Volibear is right there, but...
And meanwhile, while that entire fight was happening in the bot lane, that went in ABCDEsports' favor, the Amumu and the Syndra grabbed the Rift Herald, and this Rift Herald is currently pushing the mid lane towers. Lysandra's finally coming in here. Oh, Syndra.
Syndra is in a dangerous spot here. She might manage to get... No, it gets flipped out of range and is not able to find the Lysandra kill in return.
Yeah, they were able to get the Syndra kill in the mid lane, but like I said, they were able to get the Rift Herald as the fight was going on. You know, what you look for here, if there's a fight that you're losing in one area of the map, you try to push your advantages elsewhere. You can assist that fight. Not only did ABCD Esports able to turn the 3v2 around and actually win that fight, but they were able to get Herald and the mid lane tower and about half of the health on the second tier tower as well. All in all, just great plays by ABCD Esports to kind of, you know, mitigate the damage in the bot lane, actually turn that around, and then actually press their advantage elsewhere on the map.
And what started that was a good ult from the Leona, but the Tristana had flash up, and it's also a Tristana with W up. The Tristana just took the very, the ult does not come down that fast. He did have enough time to flash, did have enough time to buffer the W, get out of the ult, but ended up not doing either and does go down. That is very massive, as the Tristana should not have been hit by that. Meanwhile, this top lane, the Garen, just goes down to the execute from the bite on Volibear. It was once again not able to get the kill onto Tristana.
Yeah, Syndra actually, though, moving down into this bot lane, looking for what could be maybe a dive down here, not so sure, but the Tristana is going to get some more damage onto this top lane tower, looking to push this next wave in there as well, yeah.
Ooh,
and the Amumu is squaring off
just
against
barely
Lysandra
misses
in the
the
mid lane.
Caitlyn.
Ooh, Solar Flare coming out.
Hits the Nautilus. Ooh, the W tags onto the Caitlyn, and it looks like they're both just gonna go down. But Leona takes both kills with their W, killing both of them at the same time.
I believe that is Leona's second double kill of the game. Ansem on this Leona, not quite known for the champion, but the Shuriman division support MVP, definitely living up to his name here. Pressing that advantage in the bot lane, getting the Kaisa even farther ahead, and that's a scary 6-2 and 5 Kaisa going into the mid game.
It looks like he's able to find Lysandra. Lysandra uses her ult to survive a little longer. Volibear runs in, but it does not look like either of them will have the damage to make anything happen here. The Volibear
Tristana on the back line.
Tristana manages to find the flank though, kills the Syndra, kills the Kaisa goes down, as well as the Leona, and now Amumu
Amumu running for his life here.
Yeah,
actually, yeah, off camera here, the ace in the hole by the Caitlyn was on the Amumu, but didn't have enough damage there to take him down. He's actually going to just continue to run away here.
Looks like he's gonna try to pressure top lane actually. Or no, looks like he might want to back.
Is backing on a ward there, but I don't think anyone's gonna be able to punish him for that.
They're going to definitely take this turret, the inner turret, as they have 2 ADCs, including one of them being Tristana. We'll see if they want to try to push their luck and try to take the inhibitor. No, they're gonna back off and look for Dragon.
Yeah, we do have another Mountain Drake coming up here. The teams did split the first 2 Mountain Dragons. The second one, Mountain Drake isn't too effective unless you are ahead, unless you're at a point where you can, you know, take a lot of towers very easily. But it is going to help here. Yeah, they're going to try to fight for them. The Lysandra's in the top lane. I don't know if ABCD knows that, but it is 4 people down here. The slow does go on to 2 members, but none of them get stunned, and KP walks away.
Now KP has a bunch of gold in their pockets, 3,000 gold on Tristana's pocket right now. They definitely need a big reset right here. They and it looks like KP might have had a chance to push down mid while they were trying to reset. It looks like they're gonna look for it now. Caitlin's already here. She has only 500 gold, so she doesn't need a reset.
Yeah, the Tristana here, like you said, sitting on 3,000 gold here. Finally does back, is able to actually finish up, I believe, what that was her IE she finished up.
Yep,
and then working towards what looks to be either a rapid fire or a static shiv. So yeah, the Lysandra, I mean, the Tristana is definitely the biggest member of KP now. Most gold in the game actually, over 9,000 gold on just the Tristana here. There's definitely going to have to be ABCDEsports focusing the Tristana in the fight. The Tristana has already been caught out twice this game with Flash and W still up. They're going to have to do it again, you know, get a chain CC, get a nice root by the Amumu, you know, and look for something like that. But right now, you know, the next objective on the map is Baron. I think it's a little too early for these teams to go for it, but who knows? You get a couple kills, and then you get a couple kills, can transition over. That Baron is going to do a lot of work, especially with these Mountain Dragons that these teams have.
And speaking of vision, while the Garen has completely dropped any thoughts of having any vision, with 3 vision score right here, it looks like ABCDE still has better vision across the board, at least in the scores. Not quite as much as asking, ooh, then a catch happens, the Q ult onto the Tristana, catches the Trist with Flash, with W still up, the Caitlyn having been tagged by the Mumu ult, also gets ulted on by the Kaisa and goes down as well. The Lysandra teleports it in, but that's a teleport to her death. She manages to ult, stall it out a little bit longer. Zhonya's managed to stall it out even longer, but it just does not matter as they just sit underneath the turret and kill her anyways. So Leona goes down for it, but this is going to be an inner turret, inhibitor turret, and possibly even the inhibitor itself.
Yeah, we see here the Tristana again getting caught with Flash, with W, but there's not much she can do there. The chain CC with the Amumu Q, the ulti, the Leona following up with 2 stuns and a root herself. Not much the Tristana can do, but again, that comes down to vision. Vision, and right now, the red team does have the vision here, does have vision control. Are looking to actually grab more vision control here as well. The Amumu does have the zombie ward, leaving a lot of wards behind. Basically, every ward that the blue team puts down, once it gets cleared, it's another ward for the red team. So, definitely doing a great job here with the vision control in the enemy team's jungle. We're able to catch out the Tristana, and if they keep doing that, then the Tristana is going to be useless in this game.
And she cannot afford to be useless as the rest of her team is way too behind for her to be able to not do much. Like, even though they're going to continue to blow Mumu Q, Mumu ult, like a Mumu ult is a huge AoE, even if he only targets the Tristana, it's still gonna catch 1 or 2 other people just offhand, and then continue to commit every single one. Like, they're gonna commit Leona ult, they're gonna commit Syndra EQ, maybe even ult. QE, maybe even ult. They're gonna commit everything onto this Tristana and just keep her down, because honestly, right now Tristana is the only thing that KP can really play around.
Yeah, and one thing I want to point out here, we were talking about how Ansem on this Leona does have, at this point in the game, a 2,000 gold lead on the Nautilus. Yeah, you say, you know, support on gold on the support, isn't that useful? That's a lot of utility coming out of the Leona here. You see Zeke's convergence coming out, so that's going to be a lot of damage done. And yeah, the Nautilus, oh, the flash by the Garen.
Gonna go down. The ult from the Mumu hits 3 of them, gets... Yeah, this is going to be another clean fight, a clean Baron. The stopwatch once again, self-ult stopwatch. Zhonya's just buying, just couple more seconds of time before she dies. But yeah, the Nautilus took a lot of damage from the Baron and the W tag from the Kaisa and the Q tag from the Syndra, which allows Garen to run up flash Q ult her, and while they were still reacting to that, Amumu flash ults and hits the remaining of the team. That allows ABCDE to manage to find this fight and get this Baron quite cleanly.
Yeah, yeah, that's a very good fight for ABCD there. We're able to get the engage that they wanted. The Garen jumping into the team, we're able to finish off the Nautilus before he could even do anything about it. Still had flash, still had exhaust, couldn't put down any damage, not even the ultimate in that fight. Well, like I was saying earlier, you say, the gold on the support mode doesn't matter. That's a lot of utility for this Leona. Working towards locking the Iron Solari as well. That's just a lot more utility that they have here for ABCDE for these team fights. The Leona is already a decent, can catch people out with the ultimate, can put it into a team fight and really stall out the carries of the other team. But with the Zeke's convergence, with the lock of the Iron Solari, the Leona's gonna be able to do a lot more utility. And actually, the Tristana getting caught out here again.
Yeah.
Oh, but the Zenith Blade misses.
She might be able to shade here. Oh, the Ignite gets the Kaisa killed as well, though. She does not have lifesteal, so she cannot kill those minions and kill back.
Syndra over here on a bad spot here. The Volibear is still really strong.
Ooh, looks like, and Leona is trying to turret dive, getting stuck there by the enemy bot lane. The Mumu is also being forced away by the Volibear. That they managed to actually turn that around, kill 3 of them, losing just the Tristana. But could have even saved the Tristana if she had a buffer turret W.
Yeah, again, ABCDE, now they're the team that's overstaying their welcome. They push into the bot lane, get a good solar flare onto the Tristana. The Zenith Blade missing, but again, just not enough damage to take down the Tristana and burst her out without her being able to trade a kill. And then the Syndra kind of going off on her own into the jungle, trying to fight a Volibear that, although his team is behind, he's still about a 1.5k gold ahead of the Amumu. The Volibear isn't behind at all. So bad decisions there by ABCDE, allowing, KP's not back in this game just yet, but allowing them to inch closer, and, if a couple inches add up, they're going to be right back in this game.
Right now, it looks like the teams are both trying to set up vision of bot side jungle. KP is all there. They find the hook onto the Leona, burst her down extremely fast. Their Syndra E and the Solar Flare going down, gonna stun the entire team, but nothing's gonna be able to follow up from there. Perhaps if they had fully committed, they might have been able to do something, but it would be extremely risky. Instead, ABCD just allows the Leona to go down.
Yeah, the Leona there getting caught out by the Nautilus there. I think that's the second time the Leona was caught out there. Yeah, the Leona getting caught out isn't a huge deal, but again, these inches add up, and if ABCD doesn't, come back together, kind of get some more coordinated team play going, this lead can be turned back around. And we do see the Volibear possibly getting caught out here, but no, it's actually a 3v2 down here. Oh, here comes the Garen.
Ease in, but then gets completely bursted down, solo killed by the Kaisa as she was trying to focus on Syndra instead, and that's going to be most of their damage, and that's going to just be all of them dead for practically free. They killed the Syndra, but lost 4 of them.
Yeah, and we can see what ABCDE can do here. Pushing through the jungle of KP here, looking to take this inhib. The Garen and the Mumu should be able to take this inhib for free here as the Kaisa pushes towards this bot lane tower. Leona is prepping the wave here, pushing that wave as well. And we do see the Kaisa pushing to this inhib tower. Once this inhib goes down, they should rotate down. Yeah, they should rotate down here. Yeah, and that's exactly what they're gonna do. You gotta be careful though, the Tristana is up, the Caitlyn's up, the Nautilus and Volibear are all up here. They gotta burst this down fast and get out, or KP can try to catch them here.
Get in time. They're going to leave. We'll see if they're able. No, KP does not look to try to pick any stragglers, as ABCD is able to walk out with the double inhibitor off of that aggressive W from the Tristana.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely good for ABCDEsports. Almost overstayed there, but we're able to get both inhibs without losing any more members there. With Baron coming up in a minute 30, Dragon in a minute, these are going to be the next objectives that these teams fight for. I don't think the KP is in a spot right now where they can look to just have a straight 5v5 fight. I don't think that they win. But at the same time, if they look
catch one of the major carries for sure.
Yeah, they have to catch someone out here. And the thing is, you look, the entire bot side jungle, although, you know, it's not towards Baron, the preferred objective, that bot side jungle is completely controlled by ABCDEsports. There's
and
1,
looks
2,
like
3, 4,
to rotate
5.
their vision.
Yeah, five wards in the bot side jungle here. The Nautilus actually could be caught out here. That's a lot of damage.
Just casually gets poked out, uses ult, walks out. He's gonna get out, but he no longer has his ult and has no way of putting more vision down into the top side jungle.
Yeah, and we see the Amumu here itemizing pretty well against this team of KP. We see the Dead Man's Plate coming out against, you know, the double 80 carry comp. We see the Garen grabbing his Triforce, grabbing his Dead Man's, but then after that grabbing Randuin's to stop this crit that both the Caitlyn and the Tristana have. Whereas if you look at the tank on the side of KP, you have the Volibear, who is built that Righteous Glory, but then went for the Spirit Visage Adaptive Helm. That's a lot of MR, but to be completely honest, the Syndra, the Amumu, and the Leona really aren't doing the most damage on the team.
While Kaisa does do magic damage, it's not quite enough. Ooh, they're just gonna sit there and stack over there. The Volibear's gonna walk up and gonna walk away.
The sixth sense there by the Volibear. His Spidey senses were tingling and was able to get away there before it happened, but this Baron going down so fast.
The Kaisa with the Guinsus and the double crit item already finished is going to melt that with the Mountain Dragon.
Yeah, it's just too fast for KP to react.
That Q onto the chest. Barely missed.
Two Deadmans here. The flash Q from the Amumu, the Tristana though, able to flash away. Is able to use flash that time.
Yeah,
and here we go.
But gets hit by the Syndra QE, and while Syndra dies for it, she managed to solo kill the Tristana, and this fight is going down actually. It's a lot of abilities going down, a lot of stopwatches, a lot of Zhonya's going down both sides, but it looks like KP actually has a slight advantage here. Leona flash Q, but is not able to manage to stop the and the Lissandra passive manages to finish off. Yeah, that fight actually goes in KP's favor, despite the Syndra being able to solo kill the Tristana at the start of it.
Yeah, a lot of AoE damage from KP, and the side of ABCDE, they decided to take that fight under tower. You have, you know, the Amumu ultimate, which is able to lock a lot of them down in a small area, the Solar Flare as well, but the Lissandra passive doing a lot of damage. There's Ice Clones doing a lot of damage, and then you see, you know, the Tristana's bombs exploding in the middle of the team, the Chain Lightning from the Volibear. That's a lot of AoE damage in the members of the...
With Lissandra ult and taking that fight underneath the turrets, having that damage, all of it just added up, and KBCD just bit off a little bit more than they could chew there.
Yeah, and we look at the gold lead now, it's actually only 2,500. A game that looked like it was almost over going into that Baron, which was uncontestable by KP, actually leads to them only being down by about 2k gold, 2.5k gold. But this Dragon's gonna put a little bit more towards ABCD, but not enough to make a real difference. You know, the later you go in the game, the less the gold lead really matters.
So right now it's just looking to see if KP can find another miracle fight. If they can find this fight, they are still behind. They are actually, like, this fight is actually going to still be extremely hard for them to win. Kaisa is extraordinarily strong right now. She is going to absolutely melt everyone on the team. This fight is going to be extremely hard for KP, but if they manage to find it, they will actually have a gold lead. Like, they will likely have a gold lead and be able to have the time to win. But now the fight's breaking off. The Volibear is trying to run in at the Kaisa, but then gets split off, gets sat in the middle of the enemy team, and goes down for free. KP does not follow him up whatsoever, and he just goes down inside the tanks.
Yeah, as a Volibear player myself, I know you get in that mindset sometimes, you know, you pop the Righteous Glory, you pop the Q, you really want to jump in and get onto that carry, but you have to have your team there to follow up. You know, you can't be doing the damage.
Syndra finds a key QE onto Caitlyn, she dies immediately. The Garen's on top of the Tristana, and the Nautilus is already dead. Lissandra is trying to do things here, but she's ulting, probably gonna Zhonya, stall a little bit more time, maybe Tristana heals up a little, comes back into the fight, but it's just not gonna be enough. The Tristana is not able to do enough damage to this Garen, who is almost itemized almost completely towards her, and she also gets pegged by the Syndra QE. The Syndra just finds all these QZ at the end of the game, and it's very, very, very messy but convincing victory here, I believe. They managed
Yeah,
to.
very messy victory. But ABCDE taking game 2, the #1 seed looking very strong here in the Shuriman, up 2-0 on the #3 seed Kamikaze Penguins. Well, we'll see what happens in this game 3. Is it going to be a 3-0 sweep for ABCD Esports, or is KP going to be able to come back, claw their way back, and actually take this next game? Just start. Do you have anything else to say before we take this to another break?
But for the W.
Yes. The Tristana W and the Flash, a little unlucky there. Like the chain CC just was very timed very well by ABCDE, but at the end, works out for ABCDE. They were able to shut the Tristana down from that early advantage and actually take game 2. But other than that, we are going to take a quick break here before heading into game 3. Will it be the last game of the series? Who knows? We will find out in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. Alright everybody, welcome back to the Casual Esports Amateur League. My name is Benini. I am joined again by my partner, Yistario.
Hello. We're
And
still in the series.
Yeah, we are back for Game 3 of the Shuriman Finals. ABCDEsports off to a 2-0 lead here. Can they close it out in Game 3? We're going to find out. Let's hop onto the Rift. We're going to talk about these team comps here. Yistario, what are you thinking?
We should probably start the game before we start talking about these. Okay.
Alright.
Well, first in the pick and ban, actually, we'll first note that Ansem is in fact on a support that was banned out both the first two games. On the first two games, Kamikaze Penguins banned Morgana, Thresh, and Novice. This game, they banned Morgana, Malzahar, and Vladimir, showing respect to the Game 1 mid laner and top lane for ABCDE. Meanwhile, ABCDE's banned out the Vigar Silas Nasus instead of the Malphite ban for the third ban, and took the first pick the Malphite instead.
Yeah, this is definitely a very interesting draft. Emphasis on the interesting draft here for ABCDEsports. Charmelo has not played Malphite in this season 1 regular season or in the playoffs, and Delta Terra, to my knowledge, has never played Ahri in this regular season as well. And we do look here, the Kayle. Yeah, sorry, you want to comment on that one?
The Kayle seems to have forgotten to buy items, which might prove a little bit difficult in lane. We will see.
Yeah, we'll see if they realize before this laning phase starts here, if the Kayle can back really quick. Maybe lose a wave or two, but
She
still
would
get
have
back.
to teleport to really, and it's probably not worth a teleport.
Yeah, and it looks like Kayle's actually just going to run straight to lane. Don't know if they've realized it yet. Yeah, very interesting start here for the Kayle. We do see, again, another Volibear Amumu game for these teams. So far, the Volibear is 1-1, the Amumu is 1-1. We'll see what happens in this game to break the tie between the Amumu and the Volibear. But yeah.
Also, the Ahri was picked into the Syndra, so we'll see if this pocket pick that's never appeared before is actually the secret counter Delta has been holding on to for the entire season.
Yeah, we'll see here if Delta Terra on that Ahri can continue to do what he's been doing this series, and has been kind of keeping Mansburg kind of contained. Yes, the Tristana got very big in the second game, but game 1, the Corki really didn't do too much. Level 2 is hit here for the bot lane. Let's see if they try to do anything here, but the Thresh does get level 2 as well. So does the
Aldous
Sivir.
is body blocked here, but the Thresh throws out his own hook, and Aldous looked like he was going to go for it, but chose not to. Ooh, throws it out, but it gets bow shielded.
Yeah, the Kayle here is feeling the effects of not having any item. Down about half a wave to this Malphite.
It has Conquer over Kleptomancy into a Malphite lane, which I find interesting considering Malphite is one of those melee champions that you would think she would be able to stack it rather well against.
And we do see, I don't know if you guys caught it, we do see a ping by the red team onto the blue team Nexus. Oh, we do see the Amumu here, not in a really rough spot.
Just gonna have to flash, but still gets taken down by the Q from Malphite.
Ooh.
Malphite now has blue buff and red buff and items compared to this Kayle, and this is going to be a very rough lane for Kayle. She might engage it just back and teleport and commit to teleporting in.
Yeah, you know, having the double buffs in the lane always rough. Also having items, another big advantage there. And down goes the Kayle. Yeah, it gets tower dove level 3 there. Oh, now level 4.
Yeah.
We'll see if the Kayle buys items here.
But do they get it? They do get it. The bot lane from ABCDE still proving their aggressiveness and managing to get this kill on Asu very early on.
I see what I might call a mistake here. The Kayle
teleports in and then tries to fight this, and it's just standing there fighting it. Just almost goes down, very close. If Amumu had landed that would have killed the Malphite. If Malphite had got one more hit in, it would kill the Kayle. Very risky plays from both sides, and turns out neither side's really got anything.
Another really rough thing to note here, the Kayle backs and decides to grab 2 amp tomes. Which,
trying to get that revolver early, but...
But, is going to be able to work towards the revolver early, but has absolutely no sustain now in the lane. What that Doran's item does is it gives you some sustain It gives you some health regen, some mana regen, depending on what you go. But now the Kale,
I've stood inside that bush and was very patient, and his patience has paid off for him with a flash E. He managed to take down the Kale after that Q.
If you're on the side of KP right now, you guys just got. Oh yeah, the Kale now does have Revolver really early there, but we do see if you're on the side of KP right now, what you need to do is this is when you guys need to stay calm and say, all right, guys, we got late. All right, you see, you have the Kale, you have the Sivir, you have a very strong late game team. Yes, ABCDEsports has the Vayne as well, but if you can let this game go long enough, you can actually just negate the early advantage altogether. And there's some good play in the mid game. You guys can be right back. So this game's nowhere near over. Yes, the kills are 4-0. Yes, there's already a 2K gold lead at 5 minutes, which is absolutely massive. But the game is not over by any means. KP just has to, keep their mental together and focus on farming and scaling into the late game.
And the way you manage to come back from this is if your Mumu can actually unlock this Syndra, basically, like one single good gank on this lane. Ooh. Well, right now there's a gank coming from ABCDE. If this charm lands, nope, throws a charm a little late, doesn't hit it, and Syndra is able to walk out of that safely. But if Amumu is able to get a good gank on the Aura, this would actually propel the Syndra. She's already slowly getting advantages. But right now, it looks like despite the Q missing, the Thresh is actually slowed by the Nautilus and goes down. And then here, even the Civ goes down for that. So despite missing the Q, hitting a minion, the Nautilus manages to walk up and make the play happen anyways, and the KP bot lane goes down once again.
Yeah, great job there. Great job there by the bot lane for ABCDE. Ansem there, able to again push the advantage in the lane without stealing the kills this time. Gives all of both those kills over to Electro on the Vayne. Vayne's a late game scaling champ, but when you have 3 kills before 6.5 minutes, that's just going to propel your scaling up, and you're going to be relevant in the game a lot earlier.
ABCD is definitely feeling really good about this early game so far. And they're going to be able to actually take, I believe this is the first time they get the first dragon. I believe KP managed to take both the first drakes last time too. Nautilus walks up and steals the blue with his E, and is now forcing the Lantern out from Thresh to get the Mumu to safety. Mumu is less than half health, and this dragon does go to ABCDE.
Yeah, this is just a massive early game lead for ABCDEsports. Unless they do something just royally wrong, I don't see any way that KP could come back in this one. I mean, they definitely can. There is some late scaling, like I said, but 6 kills to 0, almost a 4K gold lead now. Oh, and the Sivir getting caught again. The Lantern goes down, but Sivir doesn't use it.
Sivir might have actually been able to get out if she just kept running, but she actually turned around to try to grab the Lantern and was clicked, but hit a champion and right-click and auto-attack them, and then that stopped her long enough for her to go down. She kept running forward. She might have been able to get out.
Demolish in this bot lane takes that's at least 2 plates gone. They can get at least a 3rd plate here.
Yeah. Well, the plating effect getting stronger per champion there is actually going to stop them from taking the plate right anytime soon. In fact, going for this is actually going to put them in danger as they start taking turrets here. If the Thresh had saved his CC for when the minions went down, he might have been able to get something there. Ooh, Ari ulting in onto a minion. He gets the charm body blocked by the minion, and is now extremely low. Now they're both extremely low. Neither also. Ooh, the Q manages to find it. Ari goes down. If she hadn't ulted right behind the minion, she might have been able to catch Mansberg with the charm to kill and win that fight. But instead, the minion wins it for Mansberg.
Yeah, that's the first death there in the mid lane for Delta Terra on the Ahri. But we do see a 17 CS advantage for the Syndra as well. We do see almost a 700 gold advantage. Well, actually about 650 gold advantage for the Syndra. That's like a quarter of a major item, possibly even. I mean, we do see lost chapters on both. But Sork shoes, actually complete shoes, finished for the Syndra over what the Ahri has. So definitely the Syndra's gonna be a lot stronger, and we do have a gank in the top lane here. The Malphite here, gonna see if he can outplay.
But there's not a whole lot Mumu can do. He tries for it. Oh, the ult comes in. Mumu barely survives there.
I would have liked to see the Malphite ult come out a little earlier there.
I believe he was trying to hold it, trying to wait for the Kale ult out, but is waited just a little too long. The
Oh, Deltaire getting caught here again, it looks like.
yeah, she tried to take a fight, hit the charm, hits another charm here, but in the end still goes down. She just does not have the damage to kill the Syndra that way, and Syndra managed to keep finding her, keep finding damage on it, and wins. And gets another kill.
Yeah, another kill over to the Syndra, but the worst part is that's another like 1 to 2 waves that the Ahri is gonna miss.
Yeah, that's a back-to-back deaths. Is going to put her way behind in gold and experience and turret plating.
Yeah, like I said, KP, I mean, really rough early game here. No, actually,
Nautilus is but that once again turret body blocked. ABCD is starting to get some. The minions are on KP's side, it seems, this game.
Yeah, but it did force the flash out from the server. Maybe a little premature here, and I think I just had a spectator bug with the boomerang blade. I don't know if the stream is having that as well, but I cannot see the pizzas being thrown out by the boomerang blade. But we're gonna move on from that. Did force the flash out from the server though, so she's a lot more careful.
Nautilus is looking for more, but is standing on a ward. The thresh hook misses. Perhaps a good thing.
Dodge there, yeah.
Perhaps a good thing in this, however, because if that thresh hook had landed, I believe that ABCD would be able to just kill KP's bot lane. But here underneath turret, the flay, the ult gets committed, but they aren't able to make anything happen. So he lands the hook here, gets the flay, but it just dies because they don't have the damage.
You don't have the damage. Yeah, there's a Ginsu's Bane against a Caulfield Sivir. Ultimate does go onto the Amumu there, but
at the end but it's not something he would.
Yeah, that's just gonna be ult for ult though. The Kale ult
and now,
when the tower dies.
Kane is just gonna, and now Sivir just gets turret dive, flash turret dive.
Nautilus does survive there, and here comes the Malphite.
Malphite has ult, just chooses not to use it there into the turret 1v3. Perhaps a good decision. But now they're gonna sit in this death bush and wait and hope that one of them rotates here. But it looks like they have better ideas than to rotate Trollshy bush.
Looks like they may try to force this one. The ult and the charm both missing. 3-man stun by the Syndra here. Syndra does go down, but the Amumu hits the 2-man ultimate.
Gets both the kills, and now they're going to get this third kill as well. That was perhaps a little overzealous of ABCD's top side, but meanwhile their bot lane just takes the first turret completely. Gets all 5 plates and the turret throughout this game. And now they have Dragon Control and are taking the blue buff. So right now the bot lane has a pretty big advantage. That's 2,500 gold on the ADC alone, and another 1,500 gold over the enemy support. So ABCD's bot lane is very, very ahead.
Yeah, a common theme that we've seen this season for ABCDEsports has been their bot lane doing very, very well. Ansem and Electro both have been doing.
Oh, the steal from the Thresh, and then this might also end up being a good fight for them too. The Mumu comes in but has no health. Is very scared on here. The Sivir manages to trade with the Vayne, gets the shutdown, and the Answer Syndra comes in and cleans up the Nautilus. That's actually 2 very big shutdowns and an extremely important steal coming out from the KP support.
Yeah, the flash play there, very good. I was able to get the steal on the dragon there, but like I was saying, ABCD has really relied on their bot lane heavily throughout the season. As if we look here, across the board, we see a bot lane for ABCDEsports that is combined 6-1. They were combined 5-0 versus the rest of their lanes. Malphite doing pretty decent in the top lane, but the mid laner, down a bit of gold in the mid lane. The jungler down gold in the jungle as well. Not too much, but down enough for it to be noticeable. But yeah, so we're gonna see, KP, they were able to get a couple shots on that. They need to play through Mansford. Mansford right now is the strongest person on KP. 3 kills, 1 death, and 3 assists.
Well, they keep playing against him. The hook lands, but the E just barely out of range. Mansford trying to get onto this ward, managed to E them out of the way. The wards have disappeared, so he's able to click onto Lantern and get out safely.
Yeah.
The hook comes in, the charm is body blocked, but now it looks like despite a lot of abilities being thrown, a lot of health being used, it looks like they're not quite able to really. Neither sides are able to find a kill here. The Rift Arrow is dropped. This will do a decent chunk to the turret, but they don't have any minions to follow up on it, so it will go down after getting that charge down. And ABCD backs off. These Rift Arrows, this series has not been super effective for the most part. There was that one effective Rift Herald in the second game, I believe.
I believe so.
But overall, these Rift Heralds are not super stellar. Not exactly what they wish to get.
Yeah, not at all. But yeah, KP's done a great job mitigating the early game advantage that ABCDE was able to achieve. You know, the Malphite's still up, you know, about 1,000 gold on the KO. The bot lane, like you already said, up a lot of gold as well. But the mid lane able to push an advantage of their own. And, you know, KP's not in the lead with gold, but they have the gold in the right places where they could possibly try to get a couple decent engages for them, get a couple fights that they want, and push it into, you know, turning this game around.
I will say one thing though, that these Thresh's hooks have been extremely dangerous all game. Like, a lot of these hooks they've been throwing out have either been at times where they just dive, they land the hook, and without the hook they died because the enemy team can engage. Like, these hook timings have been extremely dangerous, and the fact that they've been going for these hooks could end up being a great thing for their team if they actually land the right hooks at the right time, or extremely dangerous if they throw the wrong hook and ABCD is able to capitalize on it.
Yeah, and we see it going into this mid game. We're gonna be definitely some fights around these being the towers, being the dragon, and the Baron is up. Our next dragon is a cloud, so it's not gonna be anything too major. But obviously, a team would like to win a fight and take that off the map. But we do see here, like I said, the advantage. You know, we already talked about the bot lane for ABCD has that advantage. The top lane has a decent advantage as well. But you know, some of these champs that have more decent mid-game power spikes, you know, the Amumu's, his ultimates are always going to be effective, regardless if in the mid-game, late-game, whatever. And the Syndra, a champion that's already decently strong in the mid-game, now having that advantage, has already finished an item in boots, looking to move into that next item as well. We're definitely going to see if the Syndra can possibly get a decent stun here, collapse on a couple members, and try to get a fight that goes in KP's favor.
Yeah, they thrashed through this hook and already ulted in place, and the hook did not land, so I suppose the ult in place worked.
Yes. And we do see here the tower gone. I don't know how long that tower was gone in top lane, but there are
just during the last push, the last minion wave.
Yeah, and we do see again they are pushing on this mid lane tower here. Kind of both teams just kind of posturing around this mid lane, just clearing waves, pushing waves to tower, trying to get some farm onto their carries to finish a couple items before they look towards one of these objectives coming up. Again, the dragon in 20 seconds now, Baron in 2.5 minutes. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a fight around the dragon. Yeah.
This is a situation that definitely favors KP though, because while the Vayne is starting, the charm lands on the Mumu, but it does not look like either team is going to commit anything to it. But as I was saying, this situation favors KP, because while the Vayne is still getting gold and Vayne is late game, right now you still have a 2,000 gold advantage on the Vayne over the Sivir. That's the biggest thing here is that you want gold. You want to extend your gold advantage. You don't want the gold advantage between your ADC and the enemy ADC to get any less, and you don't want it to get any less important. Right now, the Vayne is so much stronger than the Sivir that even in the late game, I would still say the Vayne is not going to be comparatively stronger than the Sivir anymore than she already is. So this is actually the Vayne's strongest time in comparison to the enemy team. And so right now, ABCD wants to make use of this as best as they can. Because once it gets to the late game, when the KO starts getting more useful than the Malphite perhaps, when the Sivir starts maybe not being as useful as the Vayne, but still doing a lot of damage. It is still a late game Sivir, and then the Syndra is always going to be more useful than Ahri in this game, I believe, because with this advantage and the way they've been playing, I believe the Syndra is going to be a lot more comfortable in these late game team fights.
Yeah, and the thing is, while the side of KP has been sitting in this mid lane, you know, just kind of pushing the waves back and forth and just kind of walking around and just farming, the Kayle has been able to sit in the top lane and just farm and just scale and get these levels that she needs. The Kayle has already passed that level 11 spike, looking to get that level 16 as soon as she can. But the Kayle, you know, had that rough start, you know, either forgot to buy items or something happened there. The Valve are getting caught here. Let's see if they go on to it. Oh, the Mumu though.
Yeah, Mumu tried, but they got hit by the E, by the Ari, and that's gonna go down. She's gonna go down. It looks like nope. The Volibear ult is not able to pick off the Syndra this time.
Interesting Thresh Q we saw there, but yeah, taking this tower in the mid lane now. They're gonna jump onto the Kayle, but the Lantern is there. Oh, the Volibear with the dash
blocks too far out.
The Volibear with the dash cancel did cancel the Lantern there. That was yeah, and then the ward also blocked the Lantern as well.
But does not get killed. And they take this turret, take their kills, and back out. Looks like they want to reset, perhaps. Oh no, it looks like they want to go for more.
Yeah, and here we go. It looks like they are going to push this one, and that tower's gonna go down. They do have Demolished. Gone. Amumu is up though, does have ultimate. Let's see if he can find one here, but nope. It looks like ABCDE is gonna disengage. 5k gold lead for them at the 20-minute mark. And with Baron up, that's gonna be the next objective in their minds.
So right now, SKP, you definitely want to start grabbing your vision, but unfortunately, throughout this entire season, they have been completely down on the vision score. Right now, the Kayle is at 15 to 17 on Malphite. This is the most vision score that either of them have had at this point of the game for this entire series. But on the flip side, the Mumu actually has the least. He now has 5 vision score at 20 minutes in the game as the jungler, which is not ideal. And across the board, it looks like across the board, while some of it is a little bit less, it looks like ABCD still maintains their vision score, like stranglehold over the KP.
Yeah, and we do look here. Honestly, if you're ABCDE, you look at this. You know, you have the advantage, but you want to get a good fight now, transition it into Baron, and press your advantage because that Kayle. You can't stop that Kayle from getting levels unless you just kill her whenever you see her on the map. But,
the only way to stop her is to end the game.
Yeah, you really need to end the game before that Kayle gets level 16. Once that Kayle hits level 16, regardless of what happened in the early game, regardless of how bad the start was, that Kayle is going to be doing a lot of damage, and you need to, like you said, either end the game early or get your lead so unimaginably big that it's just impossible for the Kayle to do anything. But right now, ABCDEsports, they are on this bot side of the map with Baron up. I don't know what the play is down here necessarily. I guess trying to push this tower. Oh, they do go in there.
Gets caught out by the Q, but ults and is able to start. Kills them. Malphite gets out, is no longer in danger, and is now just attacking from the back line. And it looks like KP is going to find this very clean fight. The Mumu goes down, but they've killed everyone but the Ahri, and is now have free reign over the map.
That actually should be Baron for KP now, as they do run over there as fast as they can. Not much that the Ahri is going to be able to test this one. Yes, the Amumu goes down, but so does the Volibear. Nope, might on the side of ABCDEsports for a potential steal. This should be a Baron, and this should be exactly what KP needs to push this into a potential advantage here, or at least coming back into this game.
Yes, definitely. And as I said earlier, Vayne's was at her strongest earlier comparatively to Sivir. Now that we're starting to get, like she's still just as strong against the compared to the Sivir as she was before, but it's just a little bit less as oppressive.
Yeah, right now, this Baron's going down really slow. Yeah, the Baron's still up now, and the Ahri actually goes down.
But Ahri goes a little early. The Syndra goes down. Is going to go down. Oh, the Syndra managed to stay alive just a little bit longer. Is still alive. The Night Ticking gets out. They managed to secure the dragon. The Baron. They managed to secure the Baron, but Sivir kills the Volibear before going down. Now Mumu is trying to survive as long as he can. The Syndra tries to come in, try to help a little. Ooh, almost gets destroyed by, almost gets found by the Vayne, but Matt is instead able to hit the Vayne with the QE, kill the Vayne 100-0, while the Mumu manages to win the 1v2 against Volibear and against Malphite and Nautilus.
Yeah, very unlucky for the Vayne there. The Vayne used the Q, rolled into the Syndra, accidentally auto-attacked the plant there in the river. That one auto would have been the difference in killing that Syndra there, I believe. The Syndra did have 2 stacks of the silver bolts. That last auto would have been the last auto would have been what the Vayne needed. Unlucky there for the Vayne. Could have, like I said, could have picked up the kill there, taken the Baron off of the Syndra. And again, Amumu, with his team struggling, is still able to stay relevant in this game. Always Gonna Game has done a great job this series. with, regardless of how his team's doing. In the first 2 games, yes, they were losses, but he was never behind. He was always relevant in the game until the very final moments where the game was lost, and he's really one of the members that's keeping his team in it.
And right now, it looks like with this dragon, they are going to just be 400 gold down. So KP is actually as closest to ABCD in the game as pretty much the entire game. And now it looks like both teams are going to be pushing at the same time, different ends of the map. It looks like they want this.
The 5 members bot here, I don't know if they have the pushing power to stop this, because it's 5 versus 5 here. Yes, you have Baron minions in the bot side, but I mean, you're 2 towers behind right now. Yeah, I know.
But it looks like they're going to go for the It looks like they're going to go for a Baron enhanced recall. I don't think they should have sent everyone to recall. Yeah, I don't think they needed to send everyone to recall. I think they could have kept Sivir or Vayne, or Kayle, or even both. Maybe just K. I think you can just keep Kayle bot lane, keep it shoving, have the rest of the team reset, recall. They can't really look to fight you under Nexus turrets extremely fast. Like, it'd be very obvious they're setting up for it, and Kayle does have the empowered recall, so she could have backed in time. I think you could have just kept someone bot lane, keep that turret pressured, maybe even get that turret for their delayed recalls.
Yeah, I would have definitely kept. I agree with you. I would have kept the Kayle in the bot lane there. Kept pushing. Could have easily got the inhibitor tower. ABCDEsports could have reacted there, but I guess played it. Again, playing it safe. Everyone coming back in case there is a fight. If you're the Kayle there and your team loses the 5v4 under Nexus towers, then that's the game. So it is definitely a cautious play for them. But again, you know that you have late game in your favor, so you do want to play a bit more cautious. You do want to play. A bit more cautious to where you don't want to do something stupid that loses you the game early, because you do have the late game scaling. And we do see now all 5 members of KP running it down this top lane are going to take this tier 2 tower.
They actually have a gold advantage now.
Nautilus and Kayle, Nautilus and Vayne pushing up the mid lane, but we do see the Kayle and the Thresh both backing here.
It looks like it's going to be enough to force them to back away. The blast plant being taken. The Syndra is a little bit out. Flashes, but still gets hit by the Wi-Fi ult and goes down. The Mumu managed to ult and take down the army in turn, and now they actually managed to win this fight because the Sivir gets there in time, deals all her damage.
The Syndra was able to hit a full combo onto the Ahri before going down. That there could have been the difference in that fight. The Ahri is very behind now, but wasn't able to do nearly any damage there because did get 100-0'd by the Syndra before anything could happen. That could have been what changed the fight. Again, Mansberg does get caught, does go down, but in a way was able to turn that fight in the favor of his team.
And yeah, if you look at the right now, if you look at the items, the Vayne is still 2,000 gold ahead of the Sivir, but this in items, it only equates to half an item up. While her items are a little bit more expensive, it's still, in amount of item power spikes, it's still 3 items to 2.5 items on the Sivir, and they're both, the Vayne is definitely still stronger, but comparatively it's a lot less obvious than it would be earlier. In the meanwhile, the gold lead between the Syndra and the Ahri continues to grow, and because the Ahri is on a little bit more of a utility build with the Glacial Augment and GLP Twin Shadows, this is a huge damage difference as this lead continues to build. And across the map, like, Kayle is now level 15, looking to try to hit that 16 spike. Once she hits it, she's going to be extremely powerful. Right now, KP has managed to stall out this game that looked almost like a certain defeat. They managed to stall this out to a point where they're probably favored right now, honestly. Now I think it would take an extremely good catch, an extremely good play from ABCD to turn this around from here.
Yeah, we look across the board here. The Kayle just hit level 16, so the Kayle does now have that level 16. 2 levels up on the Malphite. Yamumu 2 levels up on the Volibear. Going to make it ABC to contest to any of these objectives that'll be coming up. Baron in 30, Dragon in 50. And then in the bot lane, we see a Sivir who was down and died. I think it was like 3 or 4 times in the laning phase, is actually up in levels on the Vayne. So yeah, the early game advantage is completely gone now for ABCDE, and we see KP now with the gold lead, with the experience lead, and with the item advantage as well.
So we'll see how they manage to take this fight. One thing to note is that when you've been playing behind for so long, in fact this entire series it feels like they've been playing from behind, it's actually hard to recognize when you're ahead and turn your play into a more aggressive, a more looking to close the game, and instead you might continue to try to stall it out, and not realize that the time of stalling is over. It's time to take your new advantage. So if they continue to play passively, they might not be able to actually find the plays that they need to find to end this game, but it looks like, ooh, the gets charmed, the thresh hook misses, and neither team's able to commit. Ooh, the Mumu actually tries to get a throw Q, but yeah, no team is able to commit here. I think KP does need to start recognizing that now that they've hit the 16 KO power spike, they have the initiative, they have the ability to start making things happen. They don't need to turtle, and they need to start trying to win the game now, or they'll still end up losing, even though they're in theory ahead.
Yeah, and we do see
Kale is soloing the dragon while the rest of the team is trying to stop the Baron. Mumu Q's in and always, but is split off the rest of the team, goes down right now, very early. The Malphite ult is committed to the fight, however, but the Mumu goes down. And ABCD still turns their sights back onto Baron. Right now, KP just needs to try to slow this Baron down until the KO is able to get there. KO perhaps should have ulted, teleported sooner, but right now it looks like KO is going to run up, and now they're going to look for this fight. The Nautilus gets intercepted by the KO. The KO tries to intercept, has to run away now. ABCD is able to find the Baron, but loses most of their members in turn. They now only have Baron on Vayne, on Nautilus. KO is teleporting bot, and then the rest of the live members of KP is trying to look for mid.
Yeah, ABCDE were able to secure the Baron there, but lost a lot for it. And actually, the KO is
going to go down. Ooh, it was actually kind of close. One or two more autos on the Vayne would have been it, but her ult, unfortunately, she can no longer attack during it, and that made it so her ult wasn't actually any damage whatsoever in that fight, and Vayne was able to kill her in the end. Actually, I think that ult might have actually hurt her a little bit more than it helped. The Vayne was able to get her Q and invisibility back up in time before the she didn't pop ult, but she was able to get a Q and get more Q damage in that fight through the ult.
Yeah, if you're on ABCDE, yeah, you lost some members of the Baron, but you did actually secure it, so
that does stop them from getting. Oh, the flash charm misses. He knocked the thresh hook in return, and now it looks like ABCDE wants to commit to this. They managed, but this fight is not really gonna go to favor. The Vayne is popping off, gonna kill the Syndra, kill the Thresh. This fight was actually very good for ABCDE in the end. The Vayne was able to manage to run through the fight without getting damaged much, and able to find the kills they needed. Killed the Syndra without being hit by Q, but without being stunned by the E, and thus the Syndra was never able to find a time to ult and kill the Vayne in time. And so with the Vayne alive, it looks like they want to try to look for the end, but this KO by herself might actually be able to stop this considering that their minions are all the way at their own base.
Yeah, that fight, I mean, looking at the health bars in the middle of that fight, you would have thought that KP were just going to run away with it. Everyone was at less than 50% health, except the Vayne, who just comes out of nowhere and just starts popping off and killing everybody. But the KO here on the Vayne now, the Vayne explode.
Oh, the Vayne accidentally hits the Blast Plant, just goes down for free. This is this is actually pretty major for KP. They now have pretty much free reign to do whatever they want for this next 20 seconds before the Vayne, 20-30 seconds before the Vayne is able to be relevant to what our fight happens.
Yeah, Nautilus does still have the Baron for a little bit longer. Now, it's actually about to expire, but
it looks like they want to try to end the game, though.
Yeah,
I may have thought of looking top to get a second inhibitor, but it looks like they want to just go for the complete end.
Yeah, those Baron minions are going to do a little bit to stop this, though, but ABCD really needs to just stay cautious here, just stall until the Vayne can come up. That's really what they need to do. I don't think
they have the time to finish this before Vayne comes up. If they're going to back off, they probably should have gone for the top inhibitor instead of looking to push mid here, as that's going to cost them that advantage they had with Vayne being dead. They no longer have that advantage. Now they need to reset, get some of this gold, And they have some gold on KO for that kill.
Yeah, when you look now, this game, it's still very, very even. Gold was only about 1,000, and the Volibear jumps onto the KO here.
KO is
This could
getting
be
caught.
disastrous if the KO does get caught.
But the KO is still doing damage. Still does go down in the end. Half health several members of the team, the 2 carries in particular, but is not able to do much more than that. And now ABCDE has the man advantage. Both their carries are now practically full health again off of their own sustain. And we'll see if they are able to do much. I would probably suggest not going down mid and instead going for a second hit rather than trying to end the game. But we'll see if they're able to do it. They do have a little bit more initiative tools than KP did.
Yeah, we do see the Volibear ult down, the Nautilus ult is down, but the Malphite ult's still up. I don't know if you want to take a fight under tower here, though. But it looks like they'll jump straight onto the
goes
Syndra.
far and gets the Syndra kill. The movement ult hits all 5 of them underneath turret. This fight is actually going to go hugely in favor of KP as Sivir is able to just auto attack with W's bouncing to chain all of them inside that movement ult.
Yeah, it was a very good engage onto the Syndra, but the Amumu still has his ultimate. All 5 members are hits a 5-man ultimate. And does take down ABCDEsports. They're going to push us into a free Elder Dragon, and then they could either look to end the game with that or even push to a free Baron as well once that comes up. Even though it will probably be contested, but they can set up for it with some good vision, maybe get a pick. But that's just disastrous for ABCDE.
And right now, Vayne still has a 3,000 gold lead on the Sivir, but it actually means nothing anymore at this point of the game. Like, despite that 3,000 gold lead, the 2,500 gold lead was way more effective earlier on, and now the Sivir is pretty much just as effective in any team fight that pops up with her bounce, with her W damage and her Qs. The only thing Vayne has going for her compared to the Sivir is initiative. The Vayne does have the ability to pick out specific targets and say if they want to kill these Syndra, it would be a lot easier for the Sivir to find the Vayne to find the Syndra than it would be the Sivir to find, say, the Ahri in return. But beyond that, their damages are going to be pretty similar in these fights.
Yeah, we do see the blue team now trying to get some vision control around Baron. Are going to clear the pit out. But we do look, KP has, they have the gold advantage. They have a 4K gold lead now, but they also have a massive experience advantage. Kale level 18, Amumu 2 levels up on the Volibear, 1 level in the mid lane, 1 level for the 80 carries. That's just a lot of experience, a lot of levels, a lot of points in these skills. And again, this is super late game now. The Kale has finished 4 items in boots. That's going to be a KO doing a lot of damage, and unless ABCDE can catch her out like they did it in that before that last fight, yeah, they played it wrong in the end. But if they don't catch the kill out and they have a 5v5 team fight, that's not going to go in their favor.
There's just a few too many targets for them to have to catch up now. Like right now, the Syndra still threatens to completely kill to 100-0 your ADC at any point. The KO is obviously a priority target. The Sivir is a priority target and has GA as well. It's actually very hard for ABCD to find any fights they actually want right now. They're gonna look though. They have no choice but to look. The old Novice ult goes down on Thresh. The Mumu comes in on the back line. Ult's down. Gets 3 men on the ult. The Syndra gets hooked, but it still kills the Ahri that's going on her. The Mumu manages to find. Oh, so many things went on in that fight, but in the end, what really matters is that it was a very big wipeout for in favor of KP, and it looks like they have 4 members alive and are gonna shove down to end the game.
Yeah, 4 members alive here with the Elder Dragon buff. The Volibear, the only one alive for ABCDEsports, isn't going to be able to do anything to defend here. I'm sure he's going to try, but this looks like it's going to be...
too much damage.
Yeah, just too much damage. That is a full health KO.
And that's a dead Volibear.
Yeah, not much you can do there. That's going to be the game. Kamikaze Penguins going to take game 3 in the series, are going to stretch it out to at least 1 more game. What a comeback in that one. I'm going to be honest, at about the 10-minute mark, I thought that we were going to see a 3-0 sweep.
Yeah, but unfortunately, ABCD were just not able to push their advantage enough. And anytime they attempted to, KP managed to always find the perfect catch, the perfect team fight. Like, they managed to find the perfect stalling ways. And, in fact, for a long period of time, they just really sat mid, met each other mid. And that really worked in KP's favor as well. They were able to stall it out and get their carries online again.
Yeah, what just an insane game there for KP to come back down 2-0 in the series, down 5K gold at 15 minutes. Great resiliency by that group of guys and girl for the support. But yeah, just great game 3. Looking forward to this game 4. We're gonna take a quick break before we hop into it. But during the break, I want to hear you guys in chat. Who do you guys think is gonna win this next game? Do you think it's gonna be KP? Are they going to force a game 5, or are we going to see ABCD Esports, the number 1 seed, take it 3-1, just like the semifinals matches in Worlds this year? Who's gonna win game 4? KP, ABCD Esports. Let us know. We'll be right back. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Casual Esports Amateur League. We are back to you guys with game between ABCD Esports and the Kamikaze Penguins. My name is Benini. I'm joined again by my tremendous, stupendous, amazing co-host, Yastario. Say what's up.
We're still in the series.
Yeah, series is still going on. About what is it? 2 hours in now. Game 4. ABCD Esports on the red side. Kamikaze Penguins on the blue side. We'll talk about team comps in just 1 second, but let's load up into the rift. Our producers are okay. All right. Yeah, sorry about that little delay, but we are now on the rift.
So, picks and bans. Once again, Vigar Silas banned on ABCDE. On KP, Morgana banned as always. Nautilus banned this time. They don't plan on taking the Thresh. They don't plan on taking the Nautilus as a first pick this game. And then they banned the Malzahar once again, keeping it away from Dota. In this game, ABCDE has decided to ban the kill after what happened last game when neither team were able to end the game fast enough. When throughout this entire series, none of the games have been short at all, so KO is a strong late game champion as they're pretty much guaranteed to get to the late game. KP picks Mumu this time, keeping it away from ABCDE as both teams love the Mumu Volibear, but this time Volibear is not picked, and ABCD has instead opted for the Rammus as an answer to the Corki mid. Their thought process in this point was probably that there was going to be two marksmen, so the Rammus is strong against both, and perhaps it would even be strong against the rest of the team. However, and this is the biggest adaptation we've seen in all series, the Swain bot lane has been picked here.
Yeah, ABCDEsports, what I believe, I mean, I couldn't, obviously, but what I could, oh, Thresh gets hooked here, and the root. And is going to walk away, and save Flash, okay. I would like to see KBB maybe be a bit more aggressive there, maybe burn some flashes of their own, but they are going to force Thresh to back here. But like I was saying, you know, in the first set of picks, you saw the Nasus and Mumu Corki, not in that order, but you saw those champions, and you know that Corki's going mid lane, so you just assume that there's going to be an AD carry in the bot lane. So the Rammus, in theory, would be a good pick against the Corki, against the Nasus, and against an AD carry, but...
So Blitzcrank is ganking mid, but Twisted Fate sees it on a ward and backs completely away. Sees it coming. Maybe, yeah, on a ward. Sees it coming and backs off completely, so they aren't able to get it. This means Blitzcrank has spent a long time away from bot lane, which means that both Swain and Tristana are going to be equally level as Thresh was forced away early on. They're both going to have level 2, and both supports are going to be lower in EXP throughout this entire laning phase, likely. Ooh, the Blitzcrank hook comes in, actually lands on the Trist, but the Trist just turns around and starts shooting the Swain, but does not come out ahead in the trade in the end.
Yeah, and we do see... here, a matchup in the mid lane, the Corki and the Twisted Fate. You have a Twisted Fate that, oh, see, actually, bot lane.
We flash Ignite, but that is a kill. First blood, W reset happens. If she W'd right there, she could have W'd and slowed the Blitz. She does it way too late, still gets the kill.
Double kill for Tristana. There is just this bot lane for ABCDEsports really carrying them throughout this series here, doing very well. Every single game, it's been a lot of fights early in the bot lane, but it seems that almost every one has gone in ABCDE's favor. But yeah, it's definitely going to get that Tristana off to a great start. Is going to be able to back here with over 1,000 gold. Is able to grab that pickaxe on the first back compared to the Swain, who grabbed he grabbed a potion. maybe a pot. Yeah, maybe a pot down there. So yeah. Big advantages for the Tristana.
For KP, their advantage has usually come from the mid lane, and in this game, Mansfrag has actually opted for his Hello Blades Corki into this Twisted Fate. In theory, this would work really well in the Corki's favor. He W's onto the Twisted Fate, gets a bunch of auto attacks off. The Twisted Fate only has one gold card to really stop this damage from coming through. And if you play around that W, then if you wait until he throws his W, maybe blue cards a minion, and then you W onto him, he really doesn't have any way of getting away from your damage. We'll see if Mansfrag is able to go aggressive, able to get a lead here, or if Dota is able to, as he's been playing most of the series, try to stop Mansfrag from getting too strong.
Oh, hook onto the Blitzcrank there. That was
not going to do too much. Yeah.
Oh, Mumu ganking top.
Yep. But Vladimir is going to get... Our pool is very early. This means that Mumu is going to be able to do a lot of damage. Maybe even throw a Q here. Misses the Q. That landed... Perhaps they would have gotten the kill, but also they would have been in a lot of risk from the counter gank from the Rammus, which is coming in right now. The Rammus is coming in. It's a little too far with this Q. It's not enough F speed this early, and instead this is just going to apply a lot of pressure for the Nasus to just stack up, stack up and farm a bit more.
Yeah, we see here with the early invade by KP pushing into the bot side jungle of the Rammus. did force the Rammus to go a bit of an unconventional start. With his jungle path, did have to start Raptors into his red into Krugs. So definitely wasn't that strong, and his clear was very slow. So we see now the Rammus is down a level on the Amumu and hasn't even had the chance to gank either, whereas the Amumu has been able to gank. So the Amumu is actually very ahead of the Rammus right now. In gold, not too much. The gold is pretty much even, but in terms of XP and just pressure on the map, the Amumu definitely has done a much better job in the early game.
Right now, it looks like a bit of a lull, as right now, top lane is traveling heavily in favor of Vladimir. So Nasus is actually a bit of a fan of this. Nasus really gets hurt more by a hard freeze in front of the enemy turret rather than being shoved into his own turret. Bot lane, the Thresh is still looking for these picks that he's been going for all series. We'll see if the bot lane from KP is able to finally adapt and manage to stop dying in these bot lanes, or if they're still gonna take all these fights, all these skirmishes, and still keep getting low, keep getting hurt a lot in the early game.
Oh, Nasus just hit level 6 on that wave.
Both ults go down. It looks like neither ults are going to be able to kill each other, though. The Vladimir W's away, and with the ult damage coming in, Nasus doesn't have the health to chase him.
Yeah, you see the Nasus does timing that level 6 timing the level 6 very, very well. Stepped up. The Vladimir thought he had a free kill there. As soon as he steps up, though, he does hit level 6. Is able to pop the ult. Oh, the Thresh is pulled their tower here.
The turret actually stops him from getting pulled a little too far, which actually saves his life, it seems. If the Blitzcrank was slightly to the right or slightly backwards, that Thresh would have been pulled a lot further, and that might have actually gotten him killed.
Yeah, I think probably the again, we have to look at this bot lane advantage, and I believe that Ansem just finished a 7-minute gold item, I believe. So that's actually a very fast gold item versus the Blitzcrank, who is the Blitzcrank is just not there yet. The Blitzcrank isn't even halfway to his gold item, so...
And the Tristana has 1,000 gold advantage on the Swain, has BF Sword ready to be purchased if she wants it when she backs.
Oh, great hook by Ansem there. Ultimate popped by the Swain, who does hit level 6. But I don't think they're going to do much here. The Thresh is going to be able to walk away. The Tristana's going to hit some autos as he comes in the end, that's just a flash for nothing in the bot lane. Great job there by ABCDE, and great job to force the bot lane of KP to play a little bit more passive.
They could perhaps have gone a little more aggressive with Ignite on Thresh up and W ult on Tristana. They had a chance of killing both, but they chose to play it safe, not risk their lead. They are 20 CS up. The Thresh has 600 gold up on the Blitz. They are sitting pretty. Just buy a BF Sword here. Take the win and take it nice and slow. BF Sword and double daggers is going to make it very, very difficult for Swain to stay alive in this lane, I believe.
Yeah, we do see the Amumu now is level 6. Rammus just hit level 6, clearing the Krugs there. But Amumu does have an advantage in terms of his level. Again, he does have a slight goal now, but
But mid lane, the Corki is able to actually get the 10 gold lead. Ooh, this top fight is happening.
Ooh, Amumu.
At the same time as Amumu is getting caught by the Thresh and the Trist. Goes down. This top lane fight is still going on. Too much lifesteal on both sides, but Nessus eventually does win. Rammus is at top. Has shown top.
Yeah, Rammus a little slow to react there. Couldn't get there in time to save the Vladimir, but the Amumu does get caught out. Does save the ult. Probably a good idea. I don't know if they could have.
Corki does have package. She could look for a play here, but chooses not to. That's perhaps much safer, as Twisted Fate also has ult, and Tristana is extraordinarily ahead. Meanwhile, that package play, the Corki had backed and gone bot with package, and then started rotating towards mid. And during that, the Twisted Fate managed to bring down the CS advantage he had down to 6 CS. So he's actually 100 gold up right now.
We could see now, we do have 4 members of a KP trying to catch out the bot lane for ABCD. Corki does still have package here. Amumu does jump in.
Corki has chosen to head back to mid, and And the bot side had also followed the Corki a little, which means the Swain has to actually
Swain.
teleport down to the lane he was walking towards anyways in order to get there just a little bit faster. Does manage to kill those Tristana, but that looked like a really bad case of miscommunication as the Mumu split off from the rest of his team and forced a huge reactionary from the bot lane.
Ooh, those Moby boots from the Thresh and the Lantern. Great job by the Thresh to get out there.
Right there was another case of bad teamwork there. The Swain was right-clicking on top of the Twisted Fate, which pulled him out of the Blitzcrank hook right on top of the Lantern, and so the Twisted Fate was able to grab the Lantern and get out. If that hook had completely finished, the Blitzcrank would have then been able to eat and then into the Swain passive pull, and then the Twisted Fate would not have been able to get out whatsoever. So unfortunately, the pull was a little too early and let the Twisted Fate get out. The Blitzcrank gets taunted on a turret, takes a lot of damage. Ooh, but the Swain has enough damage. The Swain core gave enough damage to kill the Rammus anyways.
Yeah, the Rammus looked like he was trying to bait the Blitzcrank under the tower there, possibly pick him up. Oh, but we do have the Destiny coming in from the Fate. He does get hooked. Is able to pick up the kill, but he's going to pay for it with his life, it looks like. No, has to flash out.
Into Lantern, and he's out. He does have to flash, but he has to flash, but does get the kill on Blitzcrank.
Yeah, so an early game advantage for ABCDEsports is less so now at this point, and we do look at the top lane. Nass is currently sitting on almost 200 stacks at 12 minutes. The Vladimir has pushed the wave under his tower, which you want to try to push the wave on the Nasus so he loses some farm, but this Nasus is doing a very great job farming efficiently underneath his tower. Is going to be a monster coming into this mid game. Hook does land onto the Amumu though. Oh, but the Tristana doesn't really follow up there.
Amumu goes back in.
Oh, and the double take as the Tristana jumps by everyone and gets out. Oh, and another crazy hook landing in the bot lane. That Blitzcrank is going to be dead. Swain could follow, but looks like he's just going to walk out there. Oh, the Buster shot. Tristana under tower. Oh, no. Does hit the pop heal. Fight in the mid lane here. Gold card goes out. A lot of fighting across the map.
But not a lot of deaths for all that fighting. The Tristana W's a little bit aggressively into the turret after the Blaster shot. Doesn't get the extra E on to pop her W, to pop her E. Doesn't get the extra auto to pop her E. Looks like the Rammus is going for the Corki, and the Thresh just goes down.
Yeah, the Nasus teleport. They're saving the Corki's life. Like the Corki was definitely in a rough spot there. Getting ran into by the Rammus, taunted, getting dealt a lot of damage. The Thresh following up as well. But at the end, the Nasus is gonna come in, pick up the kill for his troubles, and the Corki's just gonna walk out. And we do see a Blitzcrank. I think it was off camera there, or at least I didn't see it, but I think the Blitzcrank just tried to flash hook the Tristana, and the Tristana did just jump away or walk away or something. Oh no, flash away actually.
Yeah,
the
looks like both flashes have been used at the same time.
Yeah, so that's gonna be the Tristana flash down and the Blitzcrank flash down as well.
The Lantern was not taken in time. You walked out.
Synergy. That's what you needed for your team. Synergy.
Alright, well it looks like a gank is coming down bot.
Oh, here comes Moby Boots and Destiny and
Twisted Fate is also, yep. The Swain gets gold carded, is stuck in the fight, is probably gonna go down. Yep, and so is the, yep. Ooh, but the Ignite from the Blitz does actually kill the Rammus, which is not the best result you could have, but it's pretty good having.
Yeah, very unlucky there for the Rammus. The last tick of Ignite does take him down. If I was him, I would.
Corki managed to take the first turret once again.
Yeah, first tower, and the Nasus does pop ultimate. Q, auto, Q, auto, Q, auto. Get a lot of damage onto that tower. Vlad is gonna clear the wave. Not a lot of damage onto that tower for the Nasus, but definitely enough to make it a useful ultimate for sure. Nasus now sitting at about 300 stacks at 15 minutes. He's stacking very efficiently and very effectively right now. And the Amumu actually just picked up the Rift Herald as well.
With that hook into the gold card, we'll see if the Blitzcrank does go down, but so does the Twisted Fate. That Corki damage coming in, the Corki Swain burst just completely destroys Twisted Fate before any of them could really see it coming.
Yeah, that's a fight there that goes 1-for-1. A lot of the Nash is just massive damage right now. Has 300 stacks here. Is a very big dog in the top lane. 2-0, has finished his Triforce, still working on his boots, but he has about 700 gold in his pocket. And we're gonna see now if the bot lane from ABCD is gonna run to the top lane, take over for the Vladimir, send him to the bot lane, and possibly look to. But then there's a dragon, so.
But right now it looks like the plan for ABCDE is to try to shove up top, whereas in the bot lane, KP is going with Rift Arrow to go. The Ram is, and the Nasus goes down, the Blitzcrank is there as well. It looks like they can't keep continuing this push, whereas bot lane, these three of them with Rift Arrow is gonna, this Twisted Fate is not able to stop these three of them.
Because if
In fact, if he stays, he might even get dove. Yeah.
He can get towered dove here if he stays. He's gonna have to walk away.
They do get, it looks like they're going to commit to the top turret, but they're honestly not going to take it fast enough to worth it. They might, because of the Tristana continuing to auto the blitz, they might not even take it this wave, which means that this whole play is actually pretty bad for ABCDE. They're not getting enough for losing 2 bot lane turrets. They will now get this. They will likely get this turret now.
Oh, now the Blitzcrank needs to be careful about staying. If he stays here, the Blitzcrank could get called out for sure, and he needs.
He's going for the. No, it looks like they're. Oh, he's standing on top of the. Is gonna die for it, and the lantern's still gonna happen. I think that was a very big misplay from the Blitzcrank. He was a little too greedy, trying to get the Tristana, trying to stop the Tristana from getting away, but just dies at it for it. It's usually not worth it because even if the lantern had expired, she still had her W. The Corki package into Valkyrie is not far. He was too far away. He would not have been able to catch the Tristana anyways. I think that was just maybe he didn't expect himself to die that fast, or maybe it was just expecting the Corki to be able to get there faster. But either way, that was a big misplay by the Blitz.
Yeah, and right now, if you're on the side of ABCD, are ahead, you know you're ahead, but you are down in towers. Is that you're down in pressure? You may have more gold across the board, but you look where that gold is at. Most of that gold advantage that you do have is in your bot lane. Is in your Tristana. The Tristana has a 3k gold lead right now on the Swain. And then Ansem has a 1k gold lead in the bot lane on the Blitzcrank. But if you look across the board everywhere else, there's a gold lead in the mid lane for KP. There's a gold lane in the jungle by KP. There's a big gold lead in the top lane for Nasus. And it really just comes down to, yes, the Tristana is big, but if the Tristana could get locked out of this fight, if you can get a stun by the Amumu, it's rooted. The Nasus can pretty much half health the Tristana with 1 Q. He get a pull by the Blitzcrank. Right now, if ABCD, they really need to start playing this comp of, protect the Tristana. You're really playing the, peel for the Tristana comp. You're trying to just protect the Tristana because the Tristana is your win condition right now if you're ABCD.
What's going on the Blitzcrank? The Blitzcrank is going to go down very fast, but the Tristana does get hooked under turret. Does manage to get out, but takes most of their health for it. The Twisted Fate ults in, stuns up the Swain, but there's no follow-up because the Tristana had to W out and after her reset, so it did not have another W. It's not able to jump in to help kill the Swain, so the Twisted Fate just goes down in turn. But now the Trist has found the Corki, kills the Corki, gets that crit at the end.
Yeah, and then the Vlad actually had to TP to the bot lane to stop the Nasus from getting the inhib tower. So Nasus gonna have a TP advantage. Can just very calmly sit in this bot lane, continue to stack, continue to push the wave, and if a Baron fight happens, or if a team tries to force Baron, or if there is a fight that happens on the top side of the map, he can be there, whereas Vlad cannot.
But right now, as you said, it's looking like they want to just protect the Trist because this entire series has felt like their bot lane gets a lot more gold than KP bot lane, but their mid and their jungle is always behind as well. Throughout all these games, but
yeah, so the top lane has been back and forth. It really just depends who's ahead at what point in the game. Whereas the bot lane's always been in ABC's favor. The mid and jungle has mostly been in KP's favor, except for that first game where the mid lane of ABCD did have a small advantage throughout the game. But right now, like I said, you're trying to play the protect the Tristana comp, but that Nasus is, if you leave him be in the side lane, he's going to take tower. He's going to take inhibs. If you put someone there, then you're at risk of possibly, forcing a 4v4 fight where, one of your stronger members may not be there. So,
Ooh,
for
the
AB
flash gets hooked into the middle of KP and just goes down.
good hook there by the Blitz. I think that was actually a blind hook. I don't know if they had vision of him there, but great job by the Blitzcrank to pull him in. And they're just going to start the Baron now, and Nasus is there, and Vlad's a party, so we'll see what happens. Flash by the Nasus. Ooh, the Rammus did flash in there to try to steal, but it was secured by Always Gonna Game on that Amu. And right now it is a 4 for oh, hold on a second. And flash out by the yeah, just fighting and Barons being taken, but at the end KP walks out with the being the victors in that one.
They did lose 2 people to get 1, but they took the Baron, which perhaps is worth it.
They also killed the Thresh at the beginning.
Yeah. They did kill the Thresh, so it was a 2 for 2.
Yeah, one thing I would like to say, the Rammus did try to flash into the pit to steal the Baron. I would have liked to see, instead, if the Rammus may have came around, fought with his team, helped them kill the Nasus, and then try to push in for the 4v4. You know that they're low. Instead, dying into the pit, jumping in, trying to steal. If you steal the Baron, you're the hero. If you don't steal the Baron, well, you're the GOAT if you lose. So you really have to, and by GOAT, I don't mean greatest of all time. I mean scapegoat, the other meaning of GOAT, for any of you guys that don't understand that. But yeah, I would like to see the Rammus play a little bit more safe, fight with your team, try to win the fight after the Baron, because if you kill all the members, then the Baron is, other than a couple 100 gold for the enemy team, really doesn't do much.
Yeah, it looks like the Dragon goes down to KP for pretty much free. They just take it because they do have the advantage right now. And they're now going to look to siege this mid lane turret. We'll see how well they can pull this off, but a protected Tristana comp is actually very difficult here because of just how much burst damage comes out of the Swain, out of the Corki, even out of the Mumu, and like the Nasus gets 1 Q, that's half their health as well. So the Trista himself needs to play extremely safe. Then the tools they have to protect, like the tools on the Vladimir is not going to be that much protected. The tools on the Thresh is good with the Lantern and the Flays and stuff, but it's probably not enough on its own, especially since he's been aggressively throwing it all game. The Nasus gets found, but the Rammus goes down for it. The Tristana goes down as well. The Mumu flashes out of turret exist. Still goes out of turret.
Yeah, but KP did win the fight. It did get 3 kills for only 2. And they have Baron minions as well. They do have low health. And the Delta Terra, it does have full health on that Twisted Fate, but they aren't going to force this one. They are just going to kind of back and reset here. I mean, at the end, KP got the better of that, but they were able to defend their inhib tower. They didn't really lose much other than a couple kills for it. So ABCD doing a decent job defending there, but they need to do more of that. They need to be more proactive in what they do around the map. Instead of getting caught out like they did before the Baron fight, they need to do the catching out and protect the Tristana.
And here you have to be very careful who you hook on both sides. For example, Thresh there hooked the Nasus, and Rammus went in on the Nasus, but then the Nasus had his Q up. Like, he got his Q up before the Rammus taunted him and just whacked the Rammus with a taunt. They did get grievous wounds afflicted, but still managed to lifesteal just a little bit and managed to do a ton of damage to the Rammus, and the Rammus does go down shortly after that. Like, if the Thresh continues to try to hook this Nasus, hook the Mumuts, even hooking the Swain might not go well, because the Swain now does have the Zhonya's. If you hook and flay the Swain into your team with an ult Zhonya's, it's not going to go well. You really only can afford to hook the Corki, afford to hook the Blitzcrank. The other hooks are a lot more risky, a lot scarier.
Oh, and the Vlad gets caught here. And down he goes. Yeah, I mean, say what you want about bot lane KP, they haven't done too series, but the thing about a Blitzcrank, the safety of a Blitzcrank support is that if you throw out 10 hooks and you only hit one of them, that one hook can be so good for your team. If you
just win the game for you
by
itself.
It could win the game for you, just like that. If you
probably be inhibitor completely coming up here. They don't have the tools to defend it without the Vladimir.
Yeah, and then this Nasus right now is currently at 500 stacks at 25 minutes, right on pace where he should be. has the Thornmail, has the Triforce. That's a very strong Nasus. I don't know if ABCDE has an answer. I mean, they have the Rammus. They can look for a taunt on the Nasus if he's by himself, but in a team fight like this, you just can't afford to do it because you're going to lose the fight because everyone else is able to free hit.
And Blitzcrank has more targets they can land. Like if he lands on Twisted Fate, that's always going to be good. If he lands on the Tristana, that's always going to be good. If he lands on a Thresh, it's usually going to be good. Like the Vladimir is a little bit risky. In that case, it went perfectly fine because all 5 of them were able to commit all their abilities onto Vladimir. But if Vladimir gets Zhonya's, has his pool, has his ult, his W, he could be a risky hook target too. But even then, it's still probably going to turn out well for KP. So I think right now, KP has the advantage in initiative because they are Blitzcrank. Their hook champion has better targets here.
Yeah, did you see when Twisted Fate bought this Cull? Because he still has 15 stacks on.
I did not see it, no, unfortunately.
Okay. So yeah, this Cull's still not completed on the Twisted Fate here. Has 155 CS, but hasn't been able to finish that Cull yet. Sorry, I just wanted to point something out there. But we do see now Vladimir has finished his Rabadon, so it's gonna be very strong in these fights if he can land it on the right people. But there's just so much utility on the side of KP to keep him. Oh, the hook misses there. It looked like it could have been a good hook because you didn't see anyone else around him, but and we do have the package on the Corki, so we'll see if they can use this to their advantage.
I think that hook would have gone disastrously, actually.
It would have gone terrible.
Maybe gone good for Thresh that it missed.
Yeah, it would have gone terrible.
That's what I mean. Like that's exactly what I mean. Is you hook that Nasus there, and you're just going to get deleted. Like it's very hard for Thresh to find a good hook here.
Yeah, I think the only person on ABCDE that could probably...
He got withered. He's going to...
Oh, the max... Oh, but again, the Rammus tries to go into steal, but down goes the Baron to the Amun. Yeah, and the
Destiny comes in, but then he gets deleted. Ooh, the Rammus stands on top of the package. Just also gets deleted by the Corki. And it looks like this is going to be another inhibitor. Maybe even 2 more inhibitors if they...
Maybe even the game, honestly, if they try to force it.
If they had sent someone to teleport top, I don't think they would get in time either. So it's just going to be 1 inhibitor, and we'll see if they can end the game off of it, or they're going to back off, take a dragon, take it slow, try to be safe.
Well, yeah, they have Baron empowered minions here. Nasus is so strong. Oh, the Tristana, but no, the Vlad does get the 5-man Hemoplague.
And the Tristana buffers her W and gets out of that hook. Ooh, the Mumu goes down to all the damage, mainly the Vladimir's damage. Yeah, just the Vladimir's damage. The Rammus is coming in, so we'll see Flash taunts the Corki, but the Corki is managed to get too far away. But in the process of getting away, the Blitzcrank tries to help a little too much, gets hooked. The Rammus is running faster than them, is now completely separate from his team. Now trying to run for his life, gets got a little too hasty, wanted to chase a little too hard, got separated from his team, and now also goes down. This should be a dragon for KP.
Yeah, I have no idea what that Rammus was thinking there. I guess the thought is to chase the team down, possibly catch them out so your team can grab a couple kills as they're exiting, but turns out disastrous for him. Turns out disastrous for his team. Yeah, that's bad play by the Rammus. That guy needs to reevaluate his decisions.
Got a little too greedy there.
But yeah, here we go. KP has an advantage in gold. Only 3k gold, though. I feel that KP has had the advantage in this game for a long time, but the gold lead hasn't really shown that. A slight lead here, but it feels like they're playing with a much larger lead as well.
Yeah, but it's more. The question is who's the gold on, and the gold on both teams is actually on their marksman, their main marksman and their top laner. For KP, that would be the Corki instead of their normal ADC as they're on Swain, and on ABCD, it's on Tristana and Vladimir's the main 2 gold players. So the question is, which side can do more? Oh, the Tristana gets hooked, does not QSS in time, takes a lot of damage, doesn't go down, but is forced to completely back off, and this is going to be another free turret and probably an easy inhibitor. Ooh, the fight is breaking out. The Nasus actually
is gonna go
does
down.
go down, but at what cost? And it looks like the Swain gets. The Vladimir manages to find the Swain on the front line in the
Yeah,
meantime.
2 for 2 so far, but ABCDEsports health bar is looking a lot
they
stronger
might be
here.
chasing a little too hard, I'd say.
Oh yeah, you have super minions on your Nexus towers right now. You got to back.
And Amumu still has ult. They still have the damage to win this if they really need to. Like if the Tristana has no QSS, if she gets hooked ulted, the Hellblade's Corki would definitely delete her. Oh, he's just gonna walk up.
Oh, the hook by
misses
the Amumu pulls him right into the team.
Yeah.
And everyone's gonna go down. Oh, but the Tristana's gonna stay alive, it looks like.
Oh, flash auto? No. Mansford bites off a little more than he can chew, goes down, and that's actually going to keep ABCD in the game just a little bit longer. Ooh, gets eaten out of gets killed in midair.
Oh, but the Nas is gonna TP in with the Swain as well.
The almost teleport.
Oh, the Rammus tries
the taunt. They're trying to focus the. And it looks like they're just going to kind of kill it.
Yeah, that's a Game 4 win for the Kamikaze Penguins. Kills in favor of ABCDEsports, but the kills don't win you games, the Nexus does. And that's going to actually force a Game 5 in a series that looked to be very one-sided going into about 15 minutes into Game 3. Wow. What do you have to say, Histario?
These games are a little bit long, a little bit back and forth, pretty messy on both sides, but this Game 5 could really go either way. We've seen the 2 games sweep from ABCD, followed by 2 games from KP. I think just honestly just draft late game. Neither team seem to be able to end until the late game, and we're going to see how well they adapt to this long series. All the players probably feel really exhausted by now. We'll see if anyone starts messing up, making blatant mistakes off of this exhaustion. This is a very tedious game series to be played.
Yeah, well, that's just Game 1 and 2 going over to ABCDEsports. Games 3 and 4 going over to the Kamikaze Penguins. For those of you that have been with us since the beginning, you're about to see a Game 5. You're about to see what every caster hopes for and what every player dreads. A Game 5 in the series. Who's going to win? ABCDEsports, the number 1 seed. Kamikaze Penguins, the number 3 seed. Who is going to be your Shuriman Division champions? We'll find out right after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
Right after Silver Scrapes.
Are we live? Oh, alrighty. So, alright, guys, welcome back to the Casual Esports Amateur League Shuriman Division Finals. Silver Scrapes. Wow, that really gets you in the mood for what's going a Game 5 versus ABCDEsports and the Kamikaze Penguins. My name is Benini. I am joined again by my partner, the outstanding, the excellent, the extravagant Yestariel.
You might run out of adjectives eventually.
Yeah, I think so. Thank God this is the last game, no matter what.
We're still in this series.
We are still in this one. Game 5, this one is who's going to be crowned champions, who is taste the sweet, the terrible anguish of defeat. Who's it going to be? ABCD Esports, Kamikaze Penguins, Team Comp's coming right up, but first let's hop right onto the rift. Yes, sir. Let's get it done.
The first thing I want to say is that Mansberg is finally allowed to play his Silas in Game 5. So we'll see. I'm sure he's feeling very happy about this, but we'll see if this means that ABCD has an answer for the Silas that they banned for all previous 4 games, or if this is them deciding that the late game from the NASAs, the late game from the KO, both of which they banned, is way too much of a threat, and that's why they decide to allow Silas for once. Allow Mansberg Silas for once.
Yeah, we see Mansberg finally being able to play his signature Silas. We see Delta Terra finally playing his signature Annie pick that was almost exclusively banned throughout the regular season. Didn't play it in the finals, although it was open, but likes the matchup here into the Silas. We'll see what Delta Terra can do in this matchup. And then we see, I want to put out with the junglers, Amumu has been picked every game in this series. Coming into this game, Amumu is 3-1, only losing that first game. Can we see another win for the Amumu, or are we going to see the Maokai jungle come across and take over?
Meanwhile, for KP bans, they banned the Morgana and Alanis once again, and after the Mumu first pick, they took the Thresh away from Ansem. So the same 3 priority picks, keeping Ansem off of these pick champions. Ansem has opted into the Leona instead, which did actually do quite a bit in Game 2, I believe it was.
Yes, Leona for Ansem in Game 2 was able to push a large advantage in the bot lane. We're gonna see if they can have a similar effect here, and we do see an invade into the top side. The Maokai does take the blue buff from the Amumu. Amumu is very weak early without the blue buff, is very mana dependent. We do see the Amumu now run up into the bot side jungle to take the blue buff from the Maokai, but the Maokai's on his way over. We'll see if he stops for wolves, or we'll see if he goes for the blue buff.
As far as scaling goes, as I said before the break, this series has been going very late from pretty much all the games. I was expected a little bit more late game focus, and ABCD seems to have agreed with the ban on the Kill and the Nasus, the 2 late game champions Archangel plays, and also picking the Vladimir, which is a very powerful late game champion. Whereas KP seems to have gone a little bit more aggressive with the Malphite. That's a little bit less good in the late game. The Caitlyn used to be considered a very heavy late game champion, but right now I would think right now she's still quite more mid game than late game. She actually is not as powerful as a lot of the current ADCs in the late game. Zaya being one of the ones who are actually stronger than her in the late game. So I think if this game goes to late, ABCDE does actually have the advantage. The question is if they can get it there. With the Malphite and Silas combination on KP, they do have a lot of options for early aggression, and if they manage to find the right picks, they could quite reasonably end the game very quickly.
Yeah, and if we look here at this early game, KP off to a bit of an advantage here, especially in the jungle. The Maokai was able to steal the blue buff from the Amumu, And then rotated down to his own blue and stopped the Amumu, who was about 1 or 2 auto attacks away from taking the blue buff. So Amumu is going to be without a blue buff in this early set of the game, so he needs to be very careful. Kamikaze is going to have a little bit more pressure now because the Amumu can't afford to spend that mana like that, but he is going to go for a lane gank here in the bot lane. We'll see how that goes, but there is a ward that should spot him out if he moves into the next bush.
It looks like he's waiting though. It looks like they know that either they know or suspect that, oh no, they're going in for it, but the hook landed on Marie. The flash from the Leona gets her out away from Maokai range, and so with just the flash they walk away, and Maokai has to go weave once again.
Yeah, the Leona there looking for the Zenith Blade combo onto the Thresh there. As soon as they saw this giant tree dressed up in a cat outfit come out of the bush, the instant flash from the Leona, better safe than sorry to get her out of there. But yeah, a great job by Maokai to be in the bot lane, just apply the pressure to force that flash away, and in the end, you get a flash for free, and that's always a trade that you're willing to take.
It looks like now they're trying to look for something mid, but Annie is backing, so they're not going to find anything there.
Yeah, there's just a lot of minions that have been pushed under this tower. Let's see how many the Malphite can pick up. He is already down 10 CS. We'll see if he can pick up some more. Just losing minions, more and more to just. Oh, okay. Well, he picks up a couple there, but a little bit of about a wave of CS advantage here for the Vladimir in the top lane. That's definitely going to help him get some more gold and farm more efficiently, so he can get bigger faster.
The Xayah already off to a very quick CS lead as well. Already about 15, 14 CS up on the Caitlyn.
Yeah, a big difference here in the styles of play from these two junglers when they play on the always in a game who's very much known for his Amumu, one of his best champions. Always tries to always power farm on the Amumu until he can finish his Cinderhawk and then buys that straight up. Whereas Benini, when he plays the Amumu, he tries to go for those boots early, give him a bit more mobility here. Two different styles. We'll see if it helps the Amumu rotate a little bit faster, maybe catch some people out or help a couple fights that are happening. Or we'll see if maybe at the end of the day the damage is what happens here.
Annie is heading looking bot lane. She does have Salt. She does have the Predator up. She might it looks like she's going to give up on that idea. Oh no, still deciding. They're trying to decide if this bot lane knows or not. And it looks like
Predator has been popped. Here comes the Annie. Does have Tibber.
Does have flash. Oh, but the flash from the Caitlyn matching it perfectly, and Annie barely misses out on the Caitlyn and almost gets killed in return.
Yeah, you guys just saw about 3 flashes in about 0.5 seconds there, almost synchronized. And we do see the Maokai and the Sylas are already pushing into Amumu's jungle to possibly steal that blue buff again, really starving this Amumu of mana here. That's a sad mummy boy with missing, if they can take this, then they get 2 blue buffs for free here, and the Amumu doesn't have an answer for it.
Overall, this early game is still quite even, especially in gold. I think being even favors ABCDE, as mentioned earlier, but at the same time, they're also not losing early. KP is not losing as much as they usually lost during the series. So really, this is kind of evenly favored, I think, still.
Yeah, definitely a very, I mean, look, gold is identical here. But we look where the gold is. Having a rough start here, has not yet to have a blue buff here, being very conservative with his mana, which means his clear is going to be a bit slower, maybe not being able to have W ticking all the time. But yeah, we'll definitely see here. So currently, kills are 0-0. I believe that by this point in every other game, we've had at least 5 kills across the board. Both teams playing very cautious here.
It looks like he's going to miss quite a few CS here too.
But yeah, I'm looking at the top lane here. The Vlad just poking this Malphite. Still a 10 CS advantage there for the Vladimir. Malphite going for his first back.
Perhaps happen bot lane. Caitlyn's a little bit ahead. Ooh, gets done. Gets comboed by the Annie, but then the makes Sylas go in, and oof, the Sylas just gets absolutely destroyed. And he goes in, and the rest of his team is backing out, and they just have enough damage to melt him. So there's perhaps a little bit too on an edge. This game is probably extremely stressful, and that
Yeah,
feels
game
like a
5. As a player, I mean, I can only imagine, but as a player, in a series like this, where you've started playing the series at, I believe it was 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, yeah, it was a series that started at 8 o'clock. 5 games in, you're currently into the like 1 a.m. hour, 1 a.m. for the people that started at 9. For the people that started at 8, you're at 9, about 1 in the morning now. You've been playing League for 5 hours straight. You've had the victories of,
ooh,
and
Leona
you've also
hooks.
had the defeat.
It's a hook in. Ooh, and there goes the kill. The Caitlyn did not have flash and did not react in time was not moving while autoing, just setting their autoing within range of the Leona ult from bush and just gets punished for it.
Yeah, that's probably the easiest Leona ultimate you can hit here. The Thresh throwing the lantern back as a bit of a distraction there. I'm trying to make them feel there actually isn't anyone.
Manages to force them off a little bit, but
And forces the R from Xayah as well.
ooh,
Ooh, Tibbers goes down. No stun though, but down
goes.
goes Annie.
Looks like the signature Silas pick is stronger than the Annie pick in lane right now, at least.
Yeah, 20 CS up now. But the Annie, is still gonna have potential. Still gonna have that massive stun potential, no matter how far down they are in lane.
Yeah, the Predator Tibbers is always a threat to the KP, no matter the time in the game and no matter her gold.
And Mumu here gonna pick up the farm in the mid lane, so Silas can't get anything more than that one plate. Mumu is playing a bit cautious here. Doesn't want the Silas to do any unnecessary damage on.
Silas potentially could have looked for a dive there, but chose not to. Been extremely risky doing a Mumu with ult, but
Oh, KP starting up the dragon here.
it looks like Silas is going to intercept the immediately kills him before the Caitlyn ult even reaches. And they get the dragon.
Yeah, Mumu getting caught out there by the giant cat in the bush. That does a lot of damage. That is percent health damage, so that's gonna hurt. And then the Silas able to follow him up when he is slowed there and take him down. Great job by KP to secure not only the dragon, but a kill in the mid lane and a kill around the dragon pit as well. The early game advantage for ABCDE is still there, but it's definitely not as much as it was about 2 minutes ago.
It looks like Silas is looking for more, but it appears that Annie will back off in time. Oh!
Double flash.
Double flash once again. Trading flashes on Leona with Caitlyn. This actually benefits Leona a lot because of her range on her ult. With Caitlyn having no flash, this would be a lot easier for Leona to find these R on top of this Caitlyn. And throughout the series, Caitlyn has shown to have, regularly walked up just a little bit too far, just a little bit unsafe, and immediately get punished. So this flash trade definitely helps ABCD a lot. Meanwhile, top lane, it looks like they're going to go for a gank here. Malphite does have ult, but is just out of range. Could flash ult for it, but But it's not guaranteed they would have the damage to follow up and kill the Vladimir anyways.
Yeah, another thing I want to point out here, I know we talked about Vision a lot this series. Consistently, every single game, Ansem, no matter what support he's been playing, no matter it's been Relic Shield, no matter it's been Ancient Coin, whatever, has always finished a support item a lot earlier than the counterpart on KP, which definitely does a lot there, because the faster you can put more wards down, the more wards you can put down. And another blue buff going over to KP. This Amumu, if he wasn't crying beforehand, he is bawling his eyes out. He hasn't had a single blue buff all game, and we're 12 minutes in.
There's the Leona ult, and she's gonna be able to just walk up and save her E. Doesn't E at all, and is able to just hit the Caitlyn and get her killed through her heal because of the lack of flash. And right now, it looks like Malphite has gone Rod of Ages first. I actually don't agree with this build. I think that you don't actually, as AP Malphite, you don't actually have the targets you want here. Like, Xayah's R is really strong against your ult, and trying to burst down the Annie, if you don't actually succeed in perfectly 100-0ing her, she is going to stun you and return and 100-0 you back. And at best case, you're just going to be trading your ult damage for any ult damage, and the rest, and the rest of the targets for you, like the Vladimir, the Amumu, the Leona, are not as good. Here, the flash, both flashes coming out. The Maokai taking the kill over the Malphite. I think Malphite should have gone a little bit tankier. Does not even have boots, any type of boots. I think something like adaptive helm, or I don't know what other items he could build here, but I think a tankier build would be a lot stronger for him in this game.
Yeah, and unlucky for KP there. They got to right where the turret plate would have been, but didn't actually.
Ooh.
Oh, it does stun the Caitlyn, and the ultimate for the Amumu is going to come out here. Does
And
take
the Caitlyn
Caitlyn
does
down.
boot in.
Does flash away from the tower damage there. But yeah, unlucky for KP. They got it down to where the turret plate would have been about a quarter second after the turret plating fell, so they didn't get that extra gold there. But looks like ABCDE is going to be content to siege this bot lane. Is going to try to take this bot lane tower, but we do have a Rift Herald in the mid lane. Can Vladimir defend against this? No way. That tower is gone. And first tower will go over to Kamikaze Penguins.
And it looks like he is now trying to go a little bit tanky items with the Glacial Shroud being picked up, but that's also an AD tank item, and that only helps against Zaya, who he actually has not seen much at all this game. I think, well, he's seeing them right now, but I don't think it's the right tank item to go right now. I think
Mansford with the Curse of the Sad Mummy there is going to take down Char, but Char's going to
goes down himself.
As well, yeah.
And Zaya ult manages to get away from the Thresh Hook. Malphite does not have ult, but it looks like ABCD's bot lane is going to be able to get out, perhaps, or perhaps Leona will get out here. Manages to get out of the trap, dodge the hook, and get out safely.
It dodges that one. We do have to be careful though, because Malphite ult is coming up here in a couple seconds. We'll see if they stick around here, because if they do, Malphite could hit an ult on Zaya, who does not have her ultimate, so will not go. Oh, but they are gonna back away here. They did spot them on the ward. They did realize that both Annie and Amumu were both on their way. They didn't want to fight without their Silas there. So good recognition by them. But we now have a Cloud Dragon that is here, and we do have 4 members from ABCD who are going to try to contest this one. Well, we could see our first team fight of the game here.
Speaking of builds, well, I believe KP might actually have to just completely back off. Maokai does not have the health, has fully backed, and yeah, this dragon's just gonna go down before Maokai can get back at all. So it looks like KP is just gonna back off. But speaking of builds that I disagree with, I also don't like the immediate finish of Morellonomicon from the Vladimir, because Malphite is not gonna be healing. It's there for the Maokai and the Silas, but it's also like the Vladimir is not really fighting either of them too often, and there's also much more core items for Vladimir than Morellonomicon right now. Morello is actually very cost inefficient for what it does.
Yeah, you would have definitely liked to see maybe a Hex Tech proto belt first here instead of the Morellonomicon. It's a Mundo or a Nasus or anything like that. But we'll definitely see how it works out here. You know, coming towards the end of laning phase, it may not be too bad. I mean, you already have towers down on the map. It could be more of a group presence here. Maybe that's what the thought is. But yeah, we're definitely gonna see how it goes.
But right now, ABCDE has a 2k gold lead and Cloud Drake, and Cloud Drake is actually very good. I value it more than most people, but Cloud Drake is very good at either stalling a game or extending your lead. It's the 2 greatest things it excels at. By getting to every fight faster, you're able to respond to the enemy team's movements on the map a lot. Like, you could play a little bit reactionary, but still get there at the same time. And that's very helpful for stalling it out, like reacting to wherever they are, matching them, and being there. And it's also very good that if you manage to out rotate them, like if you go mid, they have to react to go mid, and then you go top, they don't have the speed to follow you. So it's definitely really good at stalling the game or pushing the lead. And right now, all they want to do is take their lead and actually stall it out longer for their late game, because their late game is still a lot stronger than KP's in this game, with the Silas and the Malphite not necessarily falling off, but definitely not scaling nearly as well as Vladimir or Zaya.
Yeah, and I want to point out, 17 minutes and 40 seconds, Amumu picked up his first blue buff of the game. So he he's a little bit more happy now. Is able to, you know, it kind of gets to the point where like now the blue buff isn't really as important, but is able to pick that one up. So good for him to be able to pick that one up. Maokai and Malphite looking to pressure this top lane, but they're just gonna clear the ward and back off.
I'll say for the first 8 minutes or so, the KP bot lane actually managed to keep Electro down in gold lead. Like they were down, but they're only by like 200 gold, unlike every other previous game. And right this moment, where the Xayah has managed to find a 3k gold lead, well 2,500 gold lead on the Caitlyn, and this bot deficit every single game has actually been extraordinarily painful for KP to play against.
Yeah, when we look across the board, Silas has a pretty substantial gold lead on the Annie. The Maokai again with the not as games, but still a gold lead nonetheless. It really just comes down to the mid and the jungle pressure from KP, kind of getting them through the early game and letting their laners, their other laners that maybe weren't doing too hot scale. But in a game like this, you know, you really don't have those laners that are going to scale like you want them to. So it's really up to Silas and Maokai to kind of push a mid-game advantage here and really force some fights that are good for your team, because if not, the later you go in this one, I don't think you're going to like the outcome.
Especially not when, well, especially not with the current builds right here. Like the Malphite is not going to be tanky, he's not going to be damagey, he's going to be, honestly, it's just going to be an ult bot, and whatever CC he gets with his one ult is all he's going to really be able to contribute for a lot of these fights. He's not going to survive long enough to continue fighting, and he's not going to be damaging enough to one-shot anyone of vital importance.
Oh, the Leona here gonna get caught out. Oh, does flash away. I know that was all.
But then the Predator on the Annie is coming in, flashes, hits Caitlyn, gets doesn't manage to one-shot and gets bursted in turn. But now the Malphite and the Caitlyn both have no health. They need to get out. The flash ult kills the Malphite. The Moon manages to get out, and now everyone is just running away from this fight, extraordinarily low on KP.
Yeah, there's a line of Caitlyn traps there in the top side tri-bush. Like, they're good over that.
Yeah, Maokai tried to do something, but he's taking Baron for just too long and loses most of his health to the Baron before getting onto the enemy team, and then gets deleted.
Yeah, the Caitlyn traps are going to stop anything else here for ABCDEsports, and I guess not. And the flash ultimate from the Xayah.
Xayah just flashes over the line of traps, flashes ults, ease in, and just kills them all.
And that looks like it's going to be Baron.
They are a little bit low. Yeah. They are a little low for this, and the teleport coming in from Alpha. He doesn't have ult, but he's still someone who can definitely kill the Mumu with one hit.
And they're actually backing on a ward. They better be careful here. Mumu running for his life.
And it looks like they're gonna get out safely.
Yeah, I did back on a ward there, so yeah, it was good for them to kind of get off that. They definitely could not have done the Baron, especially with the Malphite coming in. The Malphite might have died for it, but he definitely could have stopped the Baron. And he's deciding to clear the ward now.
Well, he was tanking Baron, so he didn't want to, and I think he's tanking Baron because he pressed W to clear the ward faster, and that splash hit the Baron. And that
Cloud Drake now getting started up by KP. I don't know if they can do this one. Your top and jungle aren't with you. Four members of ABCDE running in.
Leona backed off thinking it was a, it looked like they thought it was a Silas E, but and backed off trying to dodge it, but it was actually Silas ult. And so Leona missed a potential ult right there.
Right. Yeah, one thing though, ABCDE needs to put some pressure onto this mid lane, get that mid lane tower. It's gonna open up the map so much for the Vlad is just content to walk up and poke this Malphite under tower. I don't think it's gonna really for you.
Doesn't have Malphite has no sustain and no no magic resist at all. Like not a single item of magic resist right now into this Vladimir lane. He is not able to match this Vladimir. You really need to be setting like Silas is the only one who can possibly match, or this is just gonna happen to anyone else. The Vladimir's just gonna turret dive and kill the Malphite doesn't even get a chance to
Ooh, and Baron is now being pinged by the blue team. They did get that solo kill onto the Malphite. They can look to go for this Baron now. But it looks like the Maokai cat is going to, well, the sapling, I guess, is going to stop them there. But they're actually walking way up now. Is he going to be punished for that one? Solar Flare onto
But on the other hand, Caitlyn is going to get punished for that one. Alright, well.
That's an 0-5 and 0 Caitlyn. Not able to do any damage in that fight. If we had those graphics it does, where it shows you the damage from the last team fight, that Caitlyn has a 0 for that one. 100 to 0 with no return damage down. And they're just going to rotate to this cloud, yeah.
I think this is actually just pretty much going to cement ABCD's position in this game. They are extraordinarily ahead. They have the scaling. They have the double cloud break to do whatever they want in the game. I think this will be a very hard game for KP to control.
Ooh, yeah, right now, oh, and the Leona does use the Zenith Blade, jumps in, gonna try to catch the Maokai here. Is gonna get stunned up by the Annie. Oh, and the Amuma gets caught on the back line.
He's gonna have his ult, and the Silas doesn't go down. The Malphite comes in, manages to pick up some kills. These fights are actually going a little bit more in favor of KP than you would expect, but the Xayah is completely untouched and has 4,000 gold, 4,400 gold up on the Caitlyn. That's almost double the Caitlyn's gold, and completely untouched in this back line is going to be able to basically.
We'll see what ABCD can get off of this. They can't do Baron. They don't have their jungler with. They can probably just afford to push the wave mid, get a reset here. A lot of gold here. 1,700 gold on the Xayah, 1,200 gold on the Vlad. Is he able to pick up another needlessly large rod here? Working towards that Rabadon's. Is very close to completing that Rabadon's. Only about 1,100 gold away now. Once the Vlad, who's already ahead, gets the Rabadons, he's going to be doing massive, massive damage here. And the Xayah hasn't died yet. So, ABCDE very far ahead in this one. Can we see, can we see KP try to claw back in this one like they did Game 3? The lead is a lot bigger than it was in Game 3, but, we'll see what can happen.
Right now, what ABCD should be trying to do is having Vladimir go on a solo lane by himself, while the rest of his team pushes down either objectives like the Baron or goes for turrets. Vladimir can definitely solo can solo any single player, can probably solo any two players. Like, it would take the Silas and one really strong player to really deal with this Vladimir, and otherwise the Vladimir is just going to be able to pretty much get away with whatever he wants. He can just go any lane by himself right now.
Yeah, the Hemo Plague, though, was dropped in the mid lane. It doesn't have that long of a cooldown, so only 69 seconds. So, not too much, but they definitely don't want to fight until that Hemo Plague's back up.
Or no, what KP wants to do is just let Vladimir be in the side lane, try to take the 5v4, try to win it. That's their only win condition. They have to find a catch. They have to Malphite ult exactly Annie and Xayah at the same time without getting it blocked by any stopwatch, Xayah ult, or anything, and then burst both of them down before they can land. That's pretty much their win condition. They have the damage through the Silas. The Silas could with Malphite ult and Silas burst, they could very realistically burst either of them before they land, and then turn on the other after they land. Hopefully, and then from there they would have a very even then, Maokai's big caught here. That's going to be a death for him probably. He has no more real tools. Yeah. Eagle is down. The ult on the back line. Caitlyn and Thresh both go down for trying to help him too much. Malphite is still top. Does not have teleport. Does not have damage. Is not going to be part of this team fight. Is maybe gonna gets the turret, but is not able to do much more. Here, they're probably gonna take the inhibitor and then think of backing off to Baron.
I feel like if you get the inhib here, you're kind of trading the inhib Baron, because by the time you get the inhib, death timers will close.
No, you could definitely still back up and take Baron here. You have the damage. You have control of the game. They can't really follow you, I think. Like, I think if they try to follow you here, they're going to be split up and dead. Like, Silas isn't going to be there for a good 20-30 seconds.
It looks like they are. It looks like ABCDE is instead just going to play it safe and go for clearing the jungle and resetting. Vladimir has enough gold to finish his depth cap. Zaya sitting on over 2,000 gold right now, can finish her next item as well. We look now, it's now over a 5,000 gold lead for the Zaya in the bot lane over the Caitlyn. That is just a massive, massive lead. Jungle is almost identical now. And top lane, a 3k gold lead for the Vladimir. Those are two very strong late game scalers that are hitting their powers. They're hitting their yeah, they're hitting their power spikes way before they should, and that is just it's hard.
And,
KP can't fight into it.
an 8,000 gold lead with double Cloud Drake is probably one of the most oppressive things to play against.
Maokai showing on a ward in the bot lane. I would expect ABCDE. Yep, they are pinging the Baron. They're gonna go straight for it. Actually, all 5 members showing in the bot side for KP.
The Malphite
TP by the Malphite, yeah.
but that's not going to do anything because he's going to be split from his team.
And
The
Silas
best case,
staying bot.
he's not. There's no way he's going to be able to stop this Baron. He might even get caught and killed instead for trying. He's in the back clearing wards. Now the rest of the team got there except for Silas. Silas is still a bot pushing. The Baron goes down now. The Malphite tried to oversteal, didn't get it. This fight is going to go disastrously for KP. There's nothing they could do in this fight without Silas. There's nothing they could do in that angle of engage they had. And
yeah, and Silas is still pushing bot lane. TP into the base by the Vladimir, pushing those super minions in, is currently working on the Nexus towers.
this is probably going to be game. I don't see, like, unless Silas, like, plays it perfectly, gets a pentakill here, I don't see them able to hold on to this.
And
He
Amumu
gets
still
the
has
Leona
ulti,
ult.
so does Annie as
Yeah.
well.
Zaya looks like might go down actually. Yeah, it does go down, but only the Zaya is gonna go down. Caitlyn's not gonna do any damage. She's gonna tickle that Amumu before the game ends, and then there we go.
And that is the game. ABCDEsports take the Nexus down, and with that, take the crown of your Shuriman Division champions. ABCDEsports winning 3-2 in the series against the Kamikaze Penguins. Games 1 and 2 were very much in favor of ABCDE. Games 3 and 4 very in favor of KP, and that decisive Game 5 going over to your #1 seeds, ABCDEsports. Congratulations to them. I bet that they. I can't even imagine how they would feel after this.
Could not imagine whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm sure that what happened is the support, the captain Ansem was probably very emotional. 18 tournaments he's played in, only one first place victory. Over 7 years of time spent on this game, finally winning in spectacular fashion. Silver Scrapes, Game 5. Wow. I don't know. We'd have to ask that guy. Hold on. Actually, give me 1 second. Let me go get him.
Congratulations to ABCDE for taking the finals.
All right. Hey guys. I'm Benini. I was a jungler for, and it was just incredible. To go through the entire season. So basically, my story. I wasn't in this league season 0. I found it on a Reddit post that was actually criticizing the previous league that that CasualEAL broke off from, and I found someone respond to it and say about CasualEAL. So I looked into it, joined the league, found a great group of guys, and we fought through a lot of adversity. It seemed like every series we played went 1-1. So in the regular season, every series was 1-1. But and I thought it was only fitting that that in the finals we went 2-2 before finally just winning the one that mattered. But yeah, the bot lane was crazy good throughout the entire series and the entire season. Electro and Ansem are probably the best pairing that we could have asked for, and I am scared to whoever faces them in the 2v2 tournament that's coming up soon, if they are competing together. I believe they are. My producers have just told me that they are, so I feel scared to anyone who goes against them, regardless of your elo. I don't care if you're challenger, if you're bronze. They're going to be a duo to reckon with down there. But yeah, it was just incredible. I want to just thank KP for making it a wonderful series. I mean, 5 straight hours of League of Legends. You really get to thinking about what you did wrong, what you did right, what went well, what didn't, and playing against KP and especially always gonna game has made me kind of reevaluate my play as a jungler because no matter what my team did, win or lose, I feel like AGG always had a little bit over me in that one. He was every game, no matter if his team was up or down. Some people say, "Oh, if you're a jungler, if your lanes are losing, what can you do?" When his lanes were losing, he was still relevant, and I really give him a lot of props for that. But yeah, all in all, a great series, great season. Um, it was a great win for us, and I just, you know, the, the team really just really enjoyed it. We really did work hard for it. But yeah, I'm gonna hop off here. I'm gonna let the caster take over again. So I'll be yeah.
Thanks for the great interview, Bonini. Interviewed by Bonini. That was a very excellent interview. I think.
Yeah, thank you for those kind words. We just spoke with the jungler of ABCD Esports. He seems really excited. Having won the Shuriman Division final. Yustario, you played in the Shuriman Division. You played ABCD Esports. I believe 6 times. Throughout
I
the
played them
season.
4 times. I
Okay,
played them four
four
times.
times throughout the season. Do you think that they were the deserving champs? Do you think that this series could have gone either way? Like, what are your thoughts on everything?
Well, it's hard to say they're not deserving. I mean, they played that extremely well. They played the entire season well. I think this could have gone in favor of KP with a better draft in the either the first 2 games or the third or the last game, like with slightly better drafts with slightly better coordination. If their bot lane was able to die slightly less, um, but I think in the end, the main reason that ABCD won is because their bot lane was able to take over every single game in the entire series. Like, no matter what the champions were, no matter the stage of the rest of the game, no matter how long the game went, the series went, every single game they were to take it over and just completely shut down the KP bot lane. Um, I would personally give my MVP vote to Ansem on for making every single one of these picks happen. Like, Electro played that very well. He did not get caught too much in this game, but a lot of the setups came from the support. A lot of the vision control came from the support. In fact, a lot of the controls over the game in general came from the support. I feel like while the others did the damage, the top lane Charmelo certainly played very well in most of these games that they won. He had an excellent, like, huge presence on the Vladimir, and Bonini in the jungle also, like, especially on the Mumu, had a lot of good catches. But I think in the end it was Ansem's catches on, like, Leona ults on multiple targets many times in every game, like just a lot of catches in general coming out of the support that really let
Yeah.
ABCDE find their gold lead, find their rhythm, and really take it home.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. The bot lane of ABC definitely carried them through. Not only kept in a spot. I know my mic just cut out for. The bot lane kept them in a spot where even if they were behind, even if they were ahead, their bot lane was always going to be able to do well. Won every single laning phase and just did outstanding. And Electro is a very phenomenal AD carry. He's I mean, you saw with that flash Zaya ulti picking up the 3 people. That was tremendous. But I think that the series MVP and also the Shuriman Division MVP that was voted on as well has to go to Ansem. He really just did phenomenal throughout the entire season and in the finals. And as someone who was able to play alongside him this season, I wouldn't have asked for a better captain. And I wouldn't have asked for a better person to call my support, whether he's inting or not. My support Ansem is. So congratulations to him. Congratulations to all of ABCD Esports, along with myself. It was tremendous. Like I already said this earlier. KP, I know some of you guys are watching this one. Thank you guys for staying up for 5 hours to play League of Legends with us. It was a tremendous series. Really enjoyed every single game, and we definitely are looking forward to a rematch next season if that's what it comes to.
I'll say on the other hand, always gonna gain and Mansford put up an extremely good fight every single game of the series. Both of them were the defining reasons why this went to 5 games, why every single one of the games were extremely long, is because those two just did not give up, did not stop playing. They just completely, every single game, did what they could, did the best they could do, and I would be very, you said you'd be scared of Electro and Ansem in the 2v2, but I would be scared of Mansberg and whoever he goes with in the 2v2,
Yeah, that's
personally.
true as well. Yeah, and also I think we shout outs need to go out to Archangel as well in the top lane, and Charmello as well. That was probably the battle of the two best top laners in the division, at least in my opinion. Archangel, when he got his preferred champions, he did extremely well and carried some of those games. The Kale and the Nasus were the reason that they won games 3 and 4. And yeah, he got banned out, but the thing is, when you're getting banned out, that means you're doing something right. That means that you're playing so well that the enemy team is afraid to play against your champs.
Even
So
throughout the season, the Nasus on Archangel on Nasus is the reason why they've been gotten to playoffs. Like they won the tiebreaker against the Dandelion Knights strictly off of that Nasus.
yeah, and honestly, all 10 of these players, we talked about how the bot lane for ABCDEsports kind of carried them through, and but the bot lane for KP as well, they had to be on the team and they got them to the finals. And
Yeah.
regardless of if they did well or not in the finals or in the games, they got them there. You have to. It says something about their
Unfortunate that
character.
they played against such an aggressive bot lane.
All right, guys. Well, our producer just let us know that it is past his bedtime, so we are going to have to wrap this up here. Sorry about our extended commentary, the very awkward interview that also happened. Anyways, my name again is Benini. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you were here since game 1, thank you for being here for the long haul. If you came at the end just to see game 5, all is it to you. You guys saw a tremendous end to the series. Yustario, any final words before we let this one go?
I think I'm good. Thanks you all for joining, and I hope my casting wasn't too terrible.
It was fine. But one last thing before we do leave. Thank you guys again for watching Casual Esports Amateur League. Please tune in this weekend, I believe, for the Noxian Division Finals. Is that date set yet, producer? Okay, doesn't remember when it is, but it is set. So stay tuned to announcements in the Discord server for the Noxian Division Finals, which is the final set of finals that need to be played to determine the winner of the Noxian Division. Again, my name is Benini. I was joined by Yastar and our producer, Ansem571. Have a great rest of your night, guys, and we hope to see you guys for that finals sometime this weekend. Have a great night, guys.